Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I've weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Hello everybody, of course, and welcome back to the Blue Skirmish 3, the 5 vs 5 tournament we're hosting here this Sunday, the 12th of the month of February, and we're going to be seeing some awesome teams take off. There's already been a lot of teams getting themselves through and a lot of teams also getting eliminated out of the tournament, but we're obviously down to the final 4. There's 4 teams left, but before I jump into which teams are playing, which matches are there, I just want to introduce you to my duo caster for today, which is Aki. Welcome, man.
Hello, nice to meet you, and hello everyone as well. Hope you're all having a good day today as well. Just gonna get into the semi-finals, see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I'm super excited actually once again for this event. I'll actually be switching some stuff around real quickly, and then we're gonna be jumping into the bracket first of all, because we do have that set up as well for you guys. Here we go. I'm gonna be showing it to you guys right here. That's not the right one. Oh my god, I'm having to get used to this a little bit. There we go. This is the bracket. This is the one you guys are having to see. There's 4 teams left, like you guys can see. The final Yodel match is still ongoing, but it looks like the result also came in for that game. But we are going to be watching, or we're going to be seeing ourselves that first game that you guys be seeing. Finally, Rich taking on the Legionaries side. That will be an awesome match to watch. Both teams around the Ascendant to Immortal ranking. And I do also see, and I'm going to edit that right now for you guys, that the team Vindicus is also able to get through. So we have four more teams ready. We're going to be casting the first semi and then the grand finals, which will be a best of 3. And then we're having the full stream wrapped up. We're going to be ready, up and going. And then we have ourselves the third winner of the event. We also all have new teams every single week joining in, which is always nice, right? We've hosted 3 events right now, and every single time we see new events or new teams coming in, not the similar names every single time, which just means that we're going to be seeing more and more names and more better teams also join the competition to try and battle their way through for that €25 prize pool. Kia, I think this is your first time joining here in this tournament. If you look at the names that are now in the bracket, do you have any team that you know, or any sort of team that you feel like is going to be quite dangerous?
I'll be completely honest, there isn't anybody here that I recognize right now, but there was one a couple weeks ago that I was hoping would be in this tournament, but they're not here.
Yeah, I think there was like a pretty good organization actually joining that the first tournament we had, and now we do have ourselves, I think, Executors Esports, which has so far been slapping through the bracket, beating 16-8, 16-4 as well. Pretty decent stuff coming out. But it looks like the game might just get themselves ready, as we are gonna be getting ourselves into the game very, very, very soon. But like I said, of course, maybe not as well-known teams, but definitely still teams that can perform on a quite nice level. In terms of, if you look at, for example, the ranks that they have, I know that finally Rich has players around as Ascendant to Immortal, and I think Legionaris has even gotten themselves all of them Immortals almost in there. So it's definitely up for a good for a nice match. And Aki, what is your rank? Because I'm talking about ranks right now. Now I'm getting a little bit interested as well in what you are.
Oh God! All right. I'm gold 3.
I'm also around that range. I think I was gold 1 the last time I got ranked. But you know, we're casters for a reason, right? That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Okay, we're dropping into the agent selection screen. On the defender side, we do have the finally Rich side, and on the defender side, we do have Legionaris coming out. So 2 teams looking solid to possibly take themselves the full thing, but they will still have to beat the teams on the bottom as well. Winning this will grant you a grand final spot, but dropping right in front of that grand final is quite harsh, right? Because Aki and me and everyone knows that there's only a number 1 prize in there. The number 1 place has been given out, and the rest won't have themselves anything to work with in terms of money, and that is obviously a devastating thought to possibly be on your minds. If you see the agent selection coming in, do you see any weird picks, Aki? Do you see anything that is pretty odd, or do you see all just natural picks you would usually see?
No, I see some natural picks. I see Astra. Astra's really good on Haven, in my opinion, because she can just put a smoke down basically anywhere. Omen is pretty good as well, because he can just teleport to any site. Well, that's when he has his ult. But everybody else seems to be a pretty normal pick, to be honest. Like Sova, you need Sova and Haven. That's like a given. Killjoy is a good pick. Sage is a good pick. Breach is a good pick. Pretty solid team comp from both of them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it looks in general, it looks very, very solid. The only thing that for me is still a little bit confusing. I mean, I'm not necessarily from the meta where the Phoenix was a thing you could definitely put in play, but the fact we're not seeing a breach on the side from the defender side, that's probably the only thing making me a little bit concerned. You do have the Sage in play for that, but not really someone who can, initiate what you would kind of like. Because usually a combination that is used, for example, on Ascent most of the time, is to even have a double initiator setup, right? With both a Sova and then a KO coming in. And now they don't even really have that. Right? They don't have someone to throw those flashes. They might be desperately needed. They don't have someone to really support. Yeah, maybe Phoenix. But you need that speed, for example, as well for the jet potential, for the race to have that extra mobility.
Yeah, you're right about that actually. Like their team, they don't really have that explosiveness. Like they do have the pop flash from Phoenix, but I think the reason why Phoenix might be picked now is because of his buff. Because like that pop flash now is like a lot stronger and it pops a lot sooner than where I used to. So I think if they time it well, like if they get like a good scan on a Sova dart, they just pop the flash, they might be able to enter really well.
Ooh, and here they go. Already some nice entrants coming their way through into the seaside. The Breach used, of course, the fault lines to try and create some space, and it's Adler really starting things off great. Will get taken away. 4 versus 4 is now the result, as that seaside is obviously lost quite fast here, Aki, if I say so.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna do a retake from Garage. We've got Astra, we've got Sage trying to sneak up, making sure it's clear. We've got Phoenix as well. So it seems like everyone's attention right now isn't on site.
Yeah, Trade's still looking to come in. Still, Killjoy just keeps on going. Coup for the ace as well. But it's gonna be Rage making a stop, putting an end to it. And it's actually the finally Rich side making the first round go their way. The CT side start is quite insane. They've just been able to catch them all off guard. A great retake. It's obviously Haven, like we know, Aki, the map of the retakes, right? It's 3 sites that you gotta be protecting. there's only 5 players on each team. Usually maps are built for 2 sides are usually built for 5 players, right? You have a middle and you have a C and an A side are usually. But in this map, you have actually the 3 sides coming in, which means there's only going to be one guy really protecting the B side. And if there are steps there, obviously players are going to be rotating over, which leaves the other side a little bit empty. So retakes are very, very much needed on this map. And we already see that the side from Finally Rich is doing that quite well by picking up that pistol with a retake.
Yeah, I think it's also because like they have a lot of attention placed on Garage. It's like everyone's getting a bit trades. So 3v3.
One enemy remaining.
1v3.
Spike down B.
Now the kills seem to come in left and right. Rage once again just left all standing alone. Trying to swing out. Getting himself dinged. And it's the killjoy of the attacker side making the round go his way. I won't even try to pronounce his name, as it's going to be a tied up scoreline with it. The Legionaris picking themselves up the round. They might not have been supposed to be winning, which should give themselves a fairly good opportunity now. As you can see, they've gotten themselves some nice money to work with, buying up some Spectres here and there, playing even a little bit of a bonus buy themselves, because they know the next round will be a little bit of an the round that is going to happen right now for the Finally Rich is going to be a little bit of an eco. So there's actually going to be a very good chance here for the Legionaris side to not only pick up the next round, but then play a bonus buy and strike for more.
Seems like the defense decided to go down mid, and they just heard everyone rushing all the way up to A. So it looks like it's going to be a full 5v5 retake.
Planted.
And well, we'll see how well they can do that, because they are at disadvantage here, because the other team do have Spectres. So let's see how they're going to push this one off. And then probably going to flash again. And wow.
Last player standing.
Absolute massacre.
That was a pretty brutal round for them, to be honest. But you know, that's usually what happens when the team have Spectres. You've got pistols. But now, economy seems to be somewhat even. But again, it's a bonus round, so it's going to be Spectres versus Vandals. So maybe they might be able to draw the score back 2-2.
I tried to adjust the volume a little bit, guys, because it was very loud of the game. Hope it's going to be a little bit better in my eyes, or my perspective now. Hopefully, let me guys know if it's any better. I mean, no one in the chat really said it. Having the volume a little bit lower might be a thing helping out a little when they're starting to shoot. I couldn't even hear myself talking. That's usually when it's time to change. Let us know, guys. We're always looking for advice, and myself as well. First time actually hosting a Valorant stream in a while. So now we're gonna try to get it sorted out properly, and it looks like it's a fast execution towards that A side coming in. Rage managing to find the first 2. That's actually a very good start of the round. Trades are coming in from Alet. 2 versus 3 has been able to be taken, and the defender still looking to hold onto the sides. Great pickup there from the heavens, as it's just Rage having to fight against Zalet on the side, making quick work of it with the killjoy. Dozy carry me makes it work, and it's actually some trading of rounds that are happening right now. Asik, Arky.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they're pretty evenly matched. I had a feeling that they might have taken that round just because of the fact that they had Vandals. So now we're gonna see what's really gonna go down, because both teams have Vandals. Some of them can't fully buy. Looks like what's it? Alet getting light shields, but overall seems to be pretty even between these both teams here. So let's see if they're gonna change up their tactic.
Yeah, it's pretty evenly matched, and so the attackers will have to start making an adjustment. Where did I get that haircut? Yeah, I mean, I'm quite fresh right now. I got a haircut like 2 days ago, so we're ready. And you know, whenever you go to like a Turkish barber, then you know that it's a good thing, right? Then you know it's good stuff, quick, and just very, very nice. But we're down to the 5 versus 4 now. Enough about haircut, back to the game itself, as it's the defender side trying to hold on whenever the economy for both teams could be broken quite soon. This is what we like about the Phoenix. Running in, getting himself a lot of space, and now has full control over both mid and C. Can let players rotate over towards the A side. They might be arriving a little bit late though, as the side could already be lost. Will still be that Nano Swarm, of course, stopping them from pushing in. The flash is good, and that's the thing that the defenders might not have to use. Flashes to try and get things sorted, but Rage will not care, as he's just running in. And Dozy, carry me, picks up a triple as well. A beautiful round here for the defender side, and finally, Rich, go back to winning ways.
Yeah, that was a good round from Rage. He managed to hold down the site. Even though he got flashed, he still managed to, you know, pick up 2 kills off of that. I think those 2 smokes, just as the team came to attack, definitely was big. That gave them enough time to rotate. Managed to stall enough for Killjoy to get on site as well. So that was a really good round.
And it's nice to see just a lot of people joined into the chat, right? Many people supporting their own teams. It's always nice to get, for example, your friends into and watching just you play the game. I mean, it feels like you're becoming a professional gamer then, right? It's really, really nice with the streams we provide here. Many players that might not have ever been on a stream before, and now just getting themselves casted as well. Whenever they make an insane play, we just scream it on and about it. Lovely stuff for these guys, of course, to get something sorted, and maybe even achieve some higher things in the amateur scene, and maybe trying to become the pro gamer they once wanted to be. It's all could be starting right here, and the push into the garage is where it might all be starting with, as they're executing into the C site. Still, Aether trying to hold it on with the shock dart. Managing to get almost nothing done there. The Nano Swarm will be initiated. Adler picking up a double, holding onto the side. That Killjoy ult will force Hakan out. And now he's going to be running it. The Phoenix from behind. Not careful whatsoever. On long, Phoenix arriving soon. Yep, that should be a kill all day long. It's actually Astra. My bad. Rage comes in from behind. Gets the frag. Yeah, I mean, they're similar. 4-2 has been found. And finally, Rich picks up 3 in a row right now.
Yeah, I think Rage is popping off right now.
Definitely.
I think that last round, they did have a good execution. They managed to, you know, spot out the Sova. They managed to get on site, but with the pressure from that Killjoy ult, and then, you know, those 2 kills definitely put a spanner in their works.
Crazy pickups all over the board. Well done. And so, defender side hold on and pick up 3 in a row.
Reach will coming out, so this should give them enough time to at least get on site. They haven't spotted the Sova yet, so managed to get 1, 2. See, Phoenix was flash, managed to get.
Placing swarm grenade. Spike down. C.
Yeah, only one his way. Good enough, I guess. So that will keep the attackers to some sort of a disadvantage. There comes the Cosmic Divide out, with Rage picking it up. We'll try to use the abilities to keep Moria from having any sort of angle to work with. But now he will peek out and Rage will find it. Like you said, just pop it off. The Astra doing all the work. And usually, this is just a smoker, right? But she's playing like an absolute... Just a duelist in general.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he wasn't even going to win that one because his gun was poking out of the smoke slightly, so... Moira managed to get, you know, just a little bit of a heads up. He was there, but
1 second, peeps.
The shot,
I gotta visit the
Rage,
Astro to play some stars.
Let's hope he's not causing the other team to do that right now, because he is absolutely popping off right now.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he keeps on doing that. 4 in a row found. Continuing to win. And if you look at the buy from the attackers now, that's not making me too happy. Defender side, usually not the side where you are necessarily able to get yourself the amounts of rounds that, for example, we're seeing right now on. Maybe a little bit of an attacking side of map, but if Leona starts doing that, it becomes defender side once again, as that's just a lovely frag, cancelling the ult. That's what the Sova is doing, not using Hunter Fury to his fullest potential, but also not needed. Leona getting tagged away, but that side is already lost.
They managed to, that one pick managed to open up the round for them, managed to get the spike down, and now they're going to have to play retake, which on the eco for the attacking team is really good.
Last player standing.
If they can trade them down, they might be able to get a free gun.
Without his concussing him.
We'll see what Rage can do here.
He's usually been a good player.
He is, you know, he might be able to do it. He is popping off right now, so, you know, let's see.
One enemy
Let's get
remaining.
one. Yeah, backside, but tries to bait him out.
Come now, come on. Diffuse, diffuse.
See, oh, he's not biting. No, he's not. Ah. Looks like I managed to get him just at the end, but that's a spike, unfortunately. But I say that's a good round from the attackers. They managed to get spiked down. You know, they managed to force everybody else on the other team to buy back again. So let's see if they can keep this momentum going into the next round.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. I think the attacking side now on a little bit of a turning point. It's now going to be like a kind of have to, otherwise you're going to get yourself in such an uncomfortable position in the later run. We all know being down inside of a half, for example, and we do know there's like a 9-3 curse type of thingy, but being down 9-3 is never going to be nice to have to work with. If you lose the pistol immediately, that loses you 1 or 2 more rounds already. After that to follow up as well, which is then really making things a whole lot harder. Moira wants to keep it into their favor though, as it's Leonard that gets a trade going on Dozik. Carry me. It's a 3 versus 3. Glock does find himself a frag as he had himself a little bit of trouble earlier. People in the chat memeing a little bit over him for not getting any kills, but now definitely getting his fair square of momentum going. Dos will get himself 1-for-1 trade up, but that was just the ult, right? He used to run it back to find a lot of intel, gets another kill with it, and that leaves a 2 versus 2 to be left.
Looks like
Revealing area.
and then we're going to be leaving A.
There they
They
are.
both suspected that both could be saying A regardless.
Last
Great
player
flash.
standing.
Now it's a 1v2 and DOS keep it alive.
Nice flash, nice curveball, getting himself so the second. DOS with the clutch. This time it is the Phoenix. I'm not spilling over my words this time. No, it's Phoenix getting a clutch, and it will be 6 on the board now for the defender's side. Finally, Rich do take it, and they are gonna reset the side from the Legionaries here a little bit, getting them in a very, very uncomfortable position, Eraki.
Yeah, I mean it's 6-3. They could choose to eco again, but it looks like they're gonna opt for Sheriffs and Light Shields instead. Maybe we might see a repeat of that last eco round where they go and rush B, but they might be a little bit prepared for it this time because you can see there's a lot more people playing in the middle of the map. That is a early aggression from us and kind of cost him his life. So now they're gonna push into barrage. Maybe they might be able to get on site.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, I mean, again, not the best of buys, but it seems to be working out, at least for the start. When I say that, Aleta's the one to actually get dropped himself. Great kill there for Glock to keep his, make his score just a bit. Again with Leather again, keeps on going. Will get himself traded out. Rage trades one back as it's Moira now in a 1 versus 2 left. All by his lonesome, not having too much health to work with. And now, not any, as Zetter taking him away, getting his 7th round. And a half win at least here for the finally Rich side.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think they are performing pretty well. I mean, you've got Rage going on an absolute madness, and you've got Etlar, who's also, you know, clutching up rounds, DOS clutching up rounds. I think everyone, like, is dialed in. They're all focused right now. Like, you can see it in their play. Like, they're picking up multiple kills per round.
Let me show you how
They're
the
making
boss
use
does
of,
it.
like, all their utilities. So they are looking pretty strong. So maybe
Revealing
on the
area.
next half, we might be able to see similar performance.
But by the way, Aki, full off topic, but has anyone ever told you sound a little bit like Phoenix?
Yeah. Yeah. I get a lot in games, unrated games. A lot of them
Yeah.
tell me to do voice lines.
Yeah, the voice line. Yeah, I was already gonna say that, but we'll just continue to focus on the game. But just as I said, an off-topic type of thingy, but one which we as well is a little bit of an ult battle that could come up. And when I say that, the first ult is already used in play. Of course, both of the teams having 3 and 4 ults now to get either onto a site or get the site under control or keep it under control. The attackers are looking to fall back as defenders try to stack the C side for a potential push. There won't be anything happening on that type of the map, as it's going to be a B play instead. Glock Might be spotting him out here with the Bulldog. A few burst plays having to come in. And both Killjoy ults being used. This will stop the attackers as well from pushing in. This could be huge as DOS pushes in from behind. They know it's going to be C. They have to push through Garage. And they're avoiding the Killjoy ult for now. The defenders are able to hold on to the side still with Ether already joined in. He will fall. That's still the round. Could be going towards the attacker side. Everything looks so solid for the defenders, but they're looking to get shut down when there's so little time left. They get the spike planted, and this should be, just in a blink of an eye, a round that could have gone to the defenders, but now starts to go to the attackers.
Yeah, now we have Dossier
One enemy remaining.
and fortunately he gets shot just before he can get somebody, and Rage blinded, so yeah, that was a... Oh, I mean... They had 12 seconds left. They managed to capitalize
Last
on that.
round in
Those
the half.
ults forced them to go to C, and left him in a 3v1. And they managed to pick off him, get the back spike down, and from there it was pretty much just hold the spike, wait for them to peek. That's exactly what they did.
In a situation like that, create a lot of chaos, right? With the double ult coming in, they have to make a decision, split second, to move their way back towards C. Barely getting hit there as well. The defenders might have not made the right call. They might have expected them to go A, but it was C instead.
Now it looks like they're going to be 5 stuck in C, but nobody's on C. And let's see if they know that. I don't know if they know that yet. Well, now they do. So now it's going to be another 5v5 retake. Well, they haven't planted the spike yet. Now it is. Let's see. How are they going to work this one here? We have Astra ult coming through. That's going to block off long.
Deploying drone.
Yeah, Glock. Trade double found, and as you said, long being blocked off. The ult from Breach, the Rolling Thunder coming out. Oh, Lunar getting pulled. Looking to be actually helping him out, but not quite though, as Rage rushes in to find the double once again. A clutch coming in from Rage, the Astra player. Absolutely amazingly done once again. An 8-4 can be taken. Just 5 rounds away now from closing out. And a beautiful half win here for the defender side.
Yeah, that was a great gravity roll from Rage as well.
Switching
like,
sides.
right at the end of the round, just pulls Silver in, get the 1 kill, and then, you know, just slightly covered as well from the boxes. Managed to peek around there.
Play some
Pick off
Astro
Killjoy.
stars in this
Had a little
reality.
bit of trouble actually finding the spike at the end because he thought it was planted in default. Oh, managed to get the defuse in time, and Rage not stopping anyone. 18 and 5. So round is now switched. So let's see if we can keep it up on the attacking side.
Yeah, the attacking side, usually maybe a little bit of the easier side here on Haven. To be seen. We'll have to see if a team like finally Rich can also do that, as it's obviously, in terms of the names, right, we don't really know which team is like more structured in general. Usually you can probably see, like, whenever there's, for example, an esports behind it or a real organization, you might be expecting them to be a little bit better on the attacking side as they're, right, prepared and stuff. But I'm not too sure how that's going to be right here. And we do see the ghost thingies right now ongoing, where the players are aiming. Maybe a little bit of a good feature, maybe not. Or maybe let us know in the chat what you guys feel about it, if you like the other things or this one a little bit better, as we do in fact see it right now. Maybe a little bit better for lineups and stuff, or seeing where other players are watching or where the lines are. For the rest, the first 2 kills have been found, right? Legionaris getting the round in a pretty good starting point, as they're now in a 5 versus 3 to try and get their 5th round on the board. And there's definitely a good chance for it, as the attackers seem to be a little bit clueless of where to go.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of waiting them out, trying to see if they can bait a little bit of utility, trying to see if they can just hear where everybody is, because they do not have the man advantage. So yeah, and now
30 seconds
see
left.
they get 1 pick, see if they can play off of that. But Rage gets shut down in sewers. That just
1
leaves us
enemy
on site.
remaining.
And Glock manages to get the trade. So now it's a 1v2. He can get the spike down at least. Or he chooses not to.
Oh!
Remaining.
That
Yeah,
could have
so
been.
very close.
It
Very
could have been
close.
something. But Glock, unfortunately, doesn't have himself that Glock to work with. Has a classic. Maybe with the Glock he would have been able to get something more done, but side of Legionaris Cleans it up nicely and well. And of course, with the double player pushing out there, it's very hard to get things sorted with that starting pistol, right? I mean, I'm making a joke about the Glock. I mean, in CSGO, you obviously have yourself the Glock as a starting weapon. You don't have that in Valorant. But in a moment like this, you just want to have yourself maybe a little bit of an automatic weapon. But he just had himself that classic to work with, making him be able to kill one. But the other one will obviously be able to get the trade quite fast. And Lotte in Diallo is not here today, so me and Aki will be taking over the stream this week. Hope you don't mind, as we're still enjoying ourselves, and we hope you guys are obviously too, as we have found ourselves a 5 versus 4 situation now to play with here for the Legionaris, as they are slowly but surely starting to build something back here, Aki. It's looking better and better for them, as here this Massacre comes out. Only DOS left, will be able to find himself still a double to work with the Frenzy getting sprayed away by Miora, and now that full buy comes out. Now the finally rich side can finally start to possibly build themselves back up that lead, but you do have a bonus buy to play against. If the defenders can now win it, Aki, there's going to be a very significant chance for this defender side to take 8 after that. And then we have ourselves a very nice game to work with. That would be absolutely amazing. Otherwise, nothing still definitely going wrong for them yet, but a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I think for now, I think they should probably try and see if they can just get some picks, because they're on a bit of the round like deficit by only 2, but they can, you know, maybe get Astra out or something, just something to just try and stop them from stalling them getting onto site. Then they should be able to at least grab a couple rounds. But for now, looks like they might be playing it a bit slower than the last couple of rounds. They don't want to be pushing in as much as they did, because the last round they lost 3 people. Seems like Alec managed to pick a block. And now he's been spotted now by 2 people.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Yeah, Phoenix got used to try and create some space, and he's managed to do so at least, but might be teleporting back soon. We'll do that now, as there's no... Yeah, there's obviously info being gained, but nothing more than that. The operator on the back of the side still trying to hold. Another dash coming in, giving Ala the chance to keep on fighting. He's only been able to find himself a triple. It's more than enough though, as Rage is left in a 1 versus 2, but we've already seen that Rage can do this, and did this multiple times. Now rotating actually back over, tries to go back to B, and this is a round what Rage can definitely accomplish. Is he going to try to go for the fight? Yes, he is. Tries to strike, tries to take him down, but there's already a Sova waiting, giving Leonard a free shot, and the bonus round is won. This is a significantly better Legionaris than we saw on the attacking side.
Yeah, seems like they're beginning to find their stride a bit on defense now. They've managed to pick up 3 rounds in a row, so it gives them the economic advantage. And last round, seems like finally Rich decided to buy, so this means that they have to do an eco. They're going to go for the Sheriff Light armor strategy, see if that works out for them as well. But I mean, even if they don't win this round, like, it's not going to be that big of a problem for them, because it's still only like a 2-round lead. So
Take flight.
maybe we can see if they can, you know, destroy their economy a little bit. Wow, that's a brilliant shot from Rage.
The Sheriffs are definitely coming into play, right? It's both teams. The Sheriffs have just been seen even more deadly than some of the Vandals have even looked, and it's always a thing I keep surprising myself of, how these guys can just be so incredibly good with so limited weapons to play with. With the Sheriff, it's just a one tap, one go type of thingy. Even when I use that thing, I always get myself dinks, because then I'm not able to get myself the frag, but they always seem to just find themselves those one taps in. I just lovely stuff to see, and just keeps me amazed of how good these players actually are. 4 versus 3 though, advantage found here by Legionaris. Of course, looking for way more to be found. Sheriff again finding a frag. There's still a Sova hiding in the corner, which is Leonard. Able to pick himself up 1, looking himself for a second, is gonna get it, turn it around, as Edler able to get himself a trade. Still, with his hands on that Sheriff to work with, now gonna try to pick up a Vandal. Only 3 bullets though. Needs to reload and needs to pick up the spike to go for that plant. But as soon as it gets planted, these players are going to either start pushing out, or when that wall will go down, it will just be there waiting. It disappears. And that is Delirion able to find himself the final kill, tying things up. And Legionaris from 8-4, they make a tied up scoreline go their way.
Yeah, I think now on defense, they definitely found their stride. Like, they're dialed in now. See, they're winning rounds, they're winning gunfights, they're peaking together. I think that little half round there was just a little reset for them. Now they know what to do. They can combat, they attack, and I think that last round there could have actually gone to finally Rich, but I think it's just because he got caught out in the open just as the wall went down. You know, both of them peeking him at the same time. He wasn't able to get both of them. So, you know, it is still anybody's game. So it's 8-8. So let's see where it goes now.
Yeah, at least the defenders are going to be having themselves a streak to work with. But the attackers will be scratching their back of their heads a little. Trying to cheer each other up. To keep the performance they had in the defender side up. Otherwise, they might just be losing everything right here, right now. It looks like there's actually a C push coming in. The alarm bot is used, but DOS is able to get himself nothing done. Tried to entry his way in, and without the movement, that's quite hard. Still, all the kills are seeming to be found here by the attacking side, which in the meantime didn't look like it. In the beginning of the round, didn't look like that was going to be the case. The Jets ults are being used, but it's still gonna be the side taken over from behind. Sova starting a fight. Leoner, as soon as he creeps in, could be catching both Eckler and Glock off guard. That's already Glock falling. And Adler on the back of the side, still trying to hold. They have intel of where he is. Now Phoenix obviously making himself known as well. So the defender should know what is going up. And with all that holding the angle, with the operator peeking out for more. Getting a 4K as well. The Jet is on fire. And the defending side just keeps on winning. They found 5 rounds in a row right now. They cannot be stopped.
I mean, with those 2 shots at the end, that was incredible. Like, that first shot onto the Sova just flicked straight onto his head, and then the next one, Phoenix walked straight into his crosshair. And I think now that is like a statement for them. Like, they're ready, I think, in my opinion. Now they're like, you know, telling them, all right, we're ready for the game. Because before, you see, it was a little bit, you know, in finally Rich's favor, but not this time.
Yeah, they found a little bit of a way to beat the finally Rich side. They've started to play themselves as well, been starting to warm up a little bit, and you can definitely see that Rage is still trying to do its utmost together with Adler. But the rest of the players also need to be there, and you have a little bit of a more stable team on the other side, like Legionaris, in terms of the kills. When you look at the scoreboard, it's actually not that big of a difference, right? You have here and there some difference, but in total, 3 kills in the favor of the Legionaris side, but still an extra round won. So their team seems to be just a little bit better functioning in terms of winning rounds as to just getting themselves kills, because Rage can keep on finding frags. The full team needs to be there as well, and it seems like Legionaris have been finding a way to avoid that Rage a little bit. Make sure that he is the one to first fall. And then obviously start to pick them off one by one. Again, now Rage able to find himself a double. As soon as I say that, he's obviously popping off again. And it's going to be all tied up again, as this retake is in nowhere near possible. As it's only the Breach and the Sova left. You have yourself 2 ults, but how are you going to be using this? You have the Rolling Thunder to use. At least a kill found there for Leoner. But still, 4 more players. It should be impossible in theory. But still, doesn't seem like it is for now. The Rolling Thunder could be used, and Leoner still has himself an ult as well. Tapping it once. Now, the fights are coming in. Leoner picks himself up a triple. How is this working out? And Hakan, he's just gonna stick. Leoner will drop, and the pool will come out. There's no way for Hakan to get anything done. DOS with the final 2, and that is 9-9. It's all tied up once again, and we'll just continue for a little bit longer.
I mean, Hakan, he did have the aftershock. At the end, he could have possibly used it to try and force one of them off the angle and behind. I mean, Leoner, he was, you know, getting those kills for everybody. Managed to at least maybe get the spike halved or something. Try and put a bit more pressure on the attacking team. Try and get them to peek out, expose himself a bit more. But, I mean, overall, not a bad round by, like, either of them, considering they were, like, at a complete player disadvantage. So, hopefully this round, you know, we can see them maybe improve that a bit more. Try and see if they can put a bit more pressure on the defense. Not defense, sorry. A bit more pressure on the attacking team once the spike is down.
And it is. I mean, they're able to find themselves those early kills. The one it is was DOS, the one that saved the final round, of course, by finding those final 2 kills. No entry fragger really there, right? The agent that could try to do this, usually a duelist, to find the first frags and go for that. And obviously Phoenix is one of those agents that could definitely do that. That one out of the round will still make sure they have themselves something as the retake has been played. You have a Killjoy ult used, it will get himself destroyed after, of course, Leonar finds himself the frag with it as well, and earlier already a util piece used to try and stop it. There comes a double nano swarm out. You don't want to really push that, I think, as Glock is pushing it for it. Tries to get himself the frags, but won't be able to make anything happen. It's a 1 versus 5. Rage will fall, and the defending side will go back to winning ways as they pick themselves up double digits.
Yeah, looks like they managed to actually pick up another round, and seems like that little streak that they had might go back to continuing, but you know, that streak does continue now. Again, that might be game over for Finally Rich, so they really need to make sure that they hold this momentum like as soon as possible.
And looking at the buy, there's not really a possibility for it, right? That's the thing. I mean, the sheriffs can do a lot of damage, but whenever the Legionaris side is playing like they are right now, do you think like that's gonna be like stopping them? Just a few sheriffs? I don't think so.
Yeah, they're gonna really need to play this one like carefully. I think like really slow. Try and see if they can get something out of position. Not like that where they're peeking into ops, but with the Phoenix Rush,
Silence.
maybe they might be able to get something.
Spike
3v4,
down,
so
C.
hope isn't all lost. See if they might be able to bring it back. Pick up a spike maybe and see if they can get sight.
Got spike.
Yeah, they picked it up from behind. Sova is pushing in. Leonar getting caught there by DOS. A flashbang following up, and Hakan running in. Mora picks it up as well. It's 11. I mean, this round, right, Aki, we can all say was a pretty needed one for Finally Rich, but the next one will be even more needed. Now they're gonna have themselves a full buy to work with, right? So this is their final chance really to do something. Otherwise, the next round will be buy whatever you can. Go for sheriffs, armor, maybe a specter here and there as well, coming out for the attacking side. If you lose this one, you're not only going to be on match point, you're going to have to defend that match point with a little to nothing buy to work with. So this should be the round for Finally Rich. Otherwise, the end might be near.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think this round here is possibly the most important for Finally Rich, because they do not win this round, they're going to be at a complete gun disadvantage, possibly abilities disadvantage as well. So this is their final chance. They have a Phoenix ult. They have the possibility of maybe getting that Sage ult down if she manages to pick up a couple of kills, but they need to play this one smart. They're going to make this one last. And they're going to make this round count.
Oh, there goes Rage as well. The op is being put into play. Hellet keeps on going. And now is also the dash to just push out, take down Phoenix, win the round. A triple. Hellet is absolutely godlike now with a 30 bomb as well in just 21 rounds. This man been not only picking players off in the beginning, then also helping in retakes. And then do it at all 100 million times as they're now on match point.
Yeah, I'm thinking Alec right now. I mean, we was talking about Rage popping off. Alec is popping off right now. He's like put it up in his hands and just let him do his thing, because he's not missing his shots. He's getting multiple kills. He's staying alive. He's making the most use out of his life, and I think that's been the deciding factor in this half here. The way how he's been able to capitalize. You know, every time he's alive, he's getting a kill. He's making an impact.
Yeah, and really in the second half mainly, right? The first half, of course, you have an attacking side. Then the Jet is usually not used to its fullest potential. The operator cannot really be used, as it's not really a weapon where you can necessarily go for a lot of aggressive peaks with. Maybe on the defending side, you're just able to hold and with that find the frags. As you said, or as I said before, the buy is not going to be too good here for the attacking side. The only good thing is, they've been able to find themselves an entry. DOS with the ult, rushes in, able to catch off one, and there's still 5 alive. So, you've wasted yourself 1 life, but that was a life of an ult. Alad still pushing in. Able to catch not only Phoenix once, but Phoenix twice. Now pushing out for Rattler instead, and keeps on going. Not hitting a turret, but has the shorty out. Unfortunate stuff. The shorty, not used as a sniper that many times. And his Glock that finds a double to secure the round for the attacking side. Only if Hakan can make an insane play work.
Let's see, he gets one. Ooh, he managed to get one through the wall, but seems like he also got himself shot through the wall again. So it's going to go to 10-12. Will we get an overtime, or will they manage to close it out this round? Let us see. But I think that round, very important. You know, he managed to give them enough money for them to at least buy. Gossiak won't be able to get a gun, but you know, if they manage to get a pick, he managed to pick up a gun from one of their bodies. Oh, never mind. He does have enough to get a gun. So it's 4 round buys again. And finally Rich need to win this, so they need to go to overtime.
Yeah, they need to. They need to really have a chance, right? Even if they take 2, there's still a whole overtime they need to win. So it's gonna get hard nevertheless. But it's still
Definitely a uphill battle for them. But
exactly.
you know, they can do it, then I believe they can do it. I mean, if you got players like Rage and Etla and DOS, when they're all locked in, they can make magical plays happen. So let's see.
Yeah, it's not starting off too well here, Aki. I'm gonna have to be honest, as all the kills are found, and the defender side are just 2 kills away now from making the play of their lives, as they were down 8-4, battling all the way back to a 13-10, and they will be making their way in to the grand final.
That's a GG's from them. I honestly, finally Rich was looking really strong in the start, but I think as soon as that round switched, it was Legionnaires all the way. Or you had Alep completely popping off with the ARP. You had Lion. I'm gonna call him Lion.
Leonard, yeah.
Leonard, we had him as well, you know, holding down the rounds. I think those 2 players definitely showed up in that second half. Like, they managed to bring them down from, what was the score on the previous
8-4. 8-4. And then after that, I think it was basically 5 rounds in a row, getting the advantage. 1 round back, and since then, just not a lot more. Hope you guys obviously all enjoyed watching this first part. As here you can see the scoreboard one more time. Elad and Leon are definitely the 2 players to fight out. Rage having a little bit of more trouble to get something sorted on the attacking half, and not the one who could step up the way Elad did before. And maybe that operator might have just been the jet with the operator might have just been the thing that could have brought them a little bit of success, but DOS did quite well still with the Phoenix, just not quite enough on the attacking side to help it out. We'll be dropping it into a short little bit of a break, of course, guys, before we are walking our way through with the grand finals, of course, because the other game should also be done quite soon, but we'll be checking that one out. And before that, we're just going to be listening to some music, or you guys are going to be listening to some music, and we'll prepare ourselves for that grand final. A best of 3 to see whichever team's walking away with the £25 still lined up for this team. £5 for each and every player. Definitely a nice prize to battle it out for. See you guys after a short little bit of a break.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on the horizon, turn us to thousands. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and
open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I woke awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. a superhero. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Fearless.
waiting, the night in. Welcome, my heart so full, I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive, we're just listening, we're existing. smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. In the black and ice, make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bonnet. Don't try study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, of course. The grand finals. Now we're going to start a best of 3 to see which way this is going to fall. As it will be starting off on Pearl. The whole legacy of this tournament now coming to a closure, as we have one more series to come, which is between the Legionaries, of course, and the new team, the new contender that has joined in, the team Vindices. They're going to be taking home, or trying to take home the victory as well. And they will now be starting on their defender side. It will be Pearl, the map pick of Legionaris now starting off. Then we will move to Haven. And if we go to a decider, it will be Fracture. So 3 nice maps still to watch. Possibly 2, of course, as it gets ended earlier. But I'm not alone as of course always. I'm joined by Aki this time, of course, to get me to help with some fine commentary, of course, for this grand final, and of course semi-final we already saw. But Aki, are you excited for this grand final?
I am actually looking forward to this because I think Legionnaires is a little bit of an underdog because their past couple matches they've
Choose
been
your
fighting
agent.
like tooth and nail to get to where they are now. Like 2 out of 3 of their past matches have gone to overtime, so they've worked really hard to get here. Whereas the other team, Team Vindices, has more or less been well, they've had slightly easier path going 13-1, 13-8, 13-8. So I think it is going to be a bit of a battle here between the two. I think the both of them have worked very hard to get here regardless. So let's see how it goes on. It's the grand final. Let's hope we get a good one.
Yeah, I mean, usually we're up for a pretty decent one. Rank-wise, these teams are very close to each other, of course. So in that type of sense, we don't have a Platinum's game versus an Immortal play in here in this tournament. No, we have just very good Immortal 2s, Immortal 3s all over the board. There's only one Ascendant 2, if I'm correct, in this lobby. So the rest is all going to be working their ways quite well. And the top of the ranks here of the Valorant trying to compete for that remaining little bit of prize money that's laying around for this blue skirmish number 3, of course. And yeah, our focus is going to be in the future also more or less going from having those 2v2 and 5v5 split around to also starting to go for a little bit more of the 5 versus 5 tournaments. So it's definitely going to be a big chance to now show yourself off and have some chance for later, for later tournaments to also make that be the case. Team Vindigus is also looking for organization, so this is really going to be a tournament where they might be able to prove themselves on, right? It's really a proving ground in these smaller type of tournaments to show yourself off, get some victories, and then an organization might be watching you play this match and feel like, these guys are pretty decent. Maybe we're going to give themselves some supplies to work with and get themselves some chances to show themselves off.
Yeah, I think like with these smaller tournaments here, it is really that like building that practice, building that routine of, you know, going through tournaments, being able to stay dialed in for like hours on end, you know, being able to play back-to-back matches, because it is more or less the same when you're doing like the big tournaments, you know, because it's going to be over a span of multiple days, it's going to be over a span of multiple hours, and you need to be able to have that. Let's see.
One enemy
remaining.
remaining.
I spotted out in the corner, and I want to go for a retake. Manages to actually do a successful retake. Caught me off guard there a little bit while I was explaining my point, but I think that's the first round down, and it looks like his team Vindicy is taking it.
Yeah, Team Vindicy starting off great, and it's exactly what you're saying, right? But at the same time, once you're starting to get like in the tier 3 scene a little bit, tier 1 as well, right? But that's still far away, of course. But once you get there, you will obviously be able to. You have to play less, but before that, you have to go into a qualifier phase, which usually consists of 4, 5, maybe even 6 matches you have to play in a row. Yeah, you need to keep that focus up, so you're already starting to prepare, starting to practice a little bit for what is coming up later. And they will absolutely try to accomplish that inside of, by winning some of these tournaments to show themselves off. And if they can keep that focus, they might be able to perform better and better alongside in those qualifiers. Maybe qualify here and there for some events, maybe some regional ones as well, as I know this team is from Turkey, hoping to possibly get into the VCT Turkey scene as well. Always a chance. And then an organization might not be too far ahead. For now, the Blue Skirmish tournament will have to do, as they're able to get themselves the first round already on the opponent's map pick.
And this jet on jet battle right here on long, trying to see who bites first, while the other team is completely sneaking up through art, and I thought they would have been going spotted by the kill tray. 3 of them go down, and wow, just like that, where they had a bit of an advantage, they're on the back foot. It seems like Team Vindices are really putting the pressure on them right now, really not giving them anything to work with.
Can't use that yet.
That's very, very well played here. West Wounds, of course, definitely has some fans in the chat trying to watch him play and wants to see him perform. And he's definitely looking like one of the best Wounds right now, and they've been able to do that. Final player, 519, will picking up the final frag. 519, we might also be able to call him. That's a little bit of a easier way to say it. But it's the second round, of course, for the team Vindices now, as they're looking to not only get the second round up and running, are looking to take themselves a possible third as well. But again, that bonus buy will now have to come in play. So you can start really building up a lead if you pick up this round in particular. But you're playing up against a full buy. It definitely won't be easy.
But I mean, from the last 2 rounds, you can see they don't play very aggressive defense. They take their time. They try and spot them out. They play for picks. So if anybody should be able to convert
Taking that
a
back.
round like this, I think Team Vindices might be able to do it. But that being said, they are at a gun disadvantage. So maybe Legionnaires might be able to get their foot through
Got
the
to
door
blocking vision.
this round now that they have some firepower.
Yeah, they should. I mean, it's their map pick. They have to show themselves, or they have to show what they're worth. And it's not going to be looking, or at least they're not looking like that for now, the first 2 rounds. But if they pick up this full buy, everything might just be turned around, because then the defender side will go for a full buy. You pick up that round, you have the lead back. It's as easy as it can be. And they're trying to walk their way up to the B side to try and accomplish exactly that. The Astra from this guy is...
During vid concealment.
Yeah, he's still stuck down the back of the side, and it's going to be a jet battle soon, but the spike will go down. This guy is still just waiting on top of middle, trying to get himself the frag on Leonar, but he won't still show up. He's just going to wait, and that is actually a very good thing, because now the Astra, this guy is still just waiting, right? He's waiting in middle. There's no way he can try to go for the retake. It's a 4 versus 4. Leonar just keeping so much pressure away and could be flanked at any time, but they don't know when. And as long as this spike is just getting defended, as long as the afterplant is being played, this is a round for the attacker side all day long.
Yeah, I mean, right now, they look
One
like
enemy remaining.
they managed to hold it down. Well, I mean, yeah, look, just like that, Millionaire came in with the late lurk, managed to get the final kill. Everybody just wasn't exposing themselves. They was playing time, so that was a good round from Legionnaires, So, they managed to get their guns, put the spike down, and they showed us that, they do have a weapon in their hands. They are not to be messed with.
Playing up against the full buy now. Full buy versus full buy, as you can see on the scoreboard, of course. Legionnaire is trying to accomplish the absolute best of results here, as they are going to be looking to tie things up here and get the Team Vindices side on a little bit of an eco. But they have been able to still full buy up, as it was a little bit of a bonus buy for them, of course, coming out. This round will be important. You can either be tying things up, or if you are Team Vindices, you can really start building up a lead yourself again. So, would be nice for both of the teams to take. And whoever wins it is going to do that, at least for now.
Yeah, I think if Legionnaires win this round, they're definitely going to have an economic advantage, because it's essentially a bonus round for them. But Team Vindices win this, they're just going to only increase their lead further. So either way, it's beneficial for any one of these ones to win the round. So it's just all down to how well they can play around each other, see if they can sort of adapt, because that's more or less what these best of 3 matches are. Is to see how well you can adapt to your enemy, how well you can read their tactics in real time. So let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, great kill obviously found there, and it looks like we have ourselves a site taken over and the post plant being played here. Leonar
Placing swarm grenade.
throwing the nano swarm on top of the spike, making sure it won't be defused yet, and it's Delirium picking himself up the first frag. This guy can still not try to go for the defuse. The post plant being played. The kills are being found for both of the teams, but it's mainly still the attacking side doing the most work. Halfway done. Final player is 519, as he's trying to get a 1 versus 3 happen. The spike is already ticking down, and the round will be won or lost, whatever way you want to call it. Legionnaires, in the end, the one to secure themselves the round, and they are tying the game up and getting the site of Team Vindices on Nico.
Yeah, and I mean, once the spike is down, it seems like Legionnaires are just anchored. They don't peak at all. They're very, very disciplined against this team here, and you can see that when it comes down to it, they're playing post plant, they're playing lineups, they're doing anything they can do to just drag out the time so that nobody can get on that spike, and that's gonna come in handy because they have 2 post plant agents. they've got Viper, they've got Killjoy, and we might see the same tactic be applied on the other side because they also got a KO and a Killjoy too. So I think, you know, depending on how well they play the post plant, that definitely decides like which way the round is gonna go for this team, for these two teams here. So let's see if they can, you know, keep up that pressure on the post plant.
Yeah, I mean, we have so far seen, it's a good point you're making here, because we've seen twice now the Team Vindicus side going for a post-plant scenario, right? They're letting the opponents get onto the site, let them plant the spike away, but then inside of the retakes, they're completely getting shut down. They're twice from B long, unable to win those fights that are coming their way, which indicates, in my opinion, that a B side is having to either be protected more or find a way to get those retakes going. Maybe find yourself a flank or do something, because now you're just waiting on the site, waiting for the peaks to show. The attackers which are playing the postman are just throwing Uto all over the board from long, making you unable to defuse the spike, and they just have that peeker's advantage to keep on peeking at you and find the frags when it matters the most. It's as easy. So the defenders either have to find themselves a way to get those post plans running, maybe find yourself a lineup to avoid the post plan scenario from coming in, use that to your advantage, or just try to hold on to the sides, because something needs to be starting to work here, and hopefully they're gonna start changing something. Otherwise it might just be the attacking side walking away with a few, and that would obviously be good for Legionaris, don't get me wrong, but for the side from Team Vindicus, that would absolutely be devastating.
Yeah, that is absolutely true, because we have seen that Team Vindicus, when the spike does not go down, they are able to defend. But as soon as that spike goes down, it's like it flips, and they become the better defenders. Legionnaires, they're able to just have that discipline where they know they don't need to peek because they have time on their side. You know, it becomes a game of waiting to see who walks into their crosshair first.
And it's already nice to see that Legionnaires is starting off great here on the attacking side as well. They are looking to be the team on Haven, at least before, that was looking good on the attacking side as of a whole, or on the defending side as of a whole. And now starting off great on this attacking side, on a map that you might not be too favored in terms of not having it picked yourself. That's already getting some crucial pieces stuck together. Astra still trying to deny this runaway to come out. Probably won't be looking to leave his weapon, or let his weapon be dropped. Still trying to stay alive, getting a third round on the board now for the Legionaris side. Legion is starting to pick themselves up a little bit of a lead. It will be a full bar coming up next, but winning this next round with 4 ults in play, right? Making a lot of good things starting to arise here for the Legionaris side.
And yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think the fact that like now they've got the ball rolling, they've got their ults on their side, they've picked up 3 rounds in a row, and those 3 rounds have come off the back of getting that spike down. And they've shown that they can do that both on A and B side. You know, last 2 rounds on the B side, this round now they're doing it on the A side. So I think Legionnaires are starting to be a bit more comfortable now. I think they're sort of relaxed a little bit, and they're just playing their game. I think it's Team Vindicus now that need to adjust a bit to how Team Legion are playing, because we saw a little bit of early aggression from the Jet, but you know, he got shut down because he got peeked by 2 people. So they are trying a little bit of a different tactic, not being as passive as before, but didn't work out in their favor this time.
And of course I made a little bit of a mistake by calling this the map pick from Team Vindicus. That's not the case, of course. It's the map pick from Legionaris coming out. So they are starting good on their T side, but definitely on a map that is in their favor, right? That they look strong on. But it is a difference as on what we saw on Haven, where mainly the defending side was looking good. So that's still a point I can make properly. But of course, it's still a map they quite like, and that's why it's looking also very solid that their attacking side has now been moving up the standards. Let's talk about the retake now, as that's already coming in. Killjoy ult being used for the defenders, but now also for the attacking side, unable to go for that retake just about now, and nothing to deny it with, or a push that comes in. Vivara tries to do it, he will get shut down. There's no ult deny coming through. Astra still has to run, will be detained. Astra getting caught there, unable to go for the retake, and she is basically already out of the round. maybe it's better off saving at this point, as the time is running out. There goes the player. There goes the fade at least. Now the retake comes out. There's actually still going to be a chance. And the full defuse will come in. Never mind. Spike Diffuser getting killed. But is there going to be enough time? There will still be. What an awkward round. And what a game we've seen so far. Team Vindicus walking away with a victory. But barely.
Honestly, I thought I was going to go to Team Legionnaire at the end.
Me too.
Looked like that Viper lineup actually hit the wall. Just slightly, and it bounced right back in her face. She never managed to actually shoot it down on top of the spike to stop the defuse there. Honestly, like, that was very hectic. We had the Killjoy ult come in, then we had the counter Killjoy ult come in, then we had the Astra ult come in. So yeah, there was a lot invested into that round, and it seems like even though they spent a couple ults, they actually ended up working in Team Victicus's favor. So they managed to stop that momentum. They still do have money, however, so not necessarily economically hurting Team Legionnaire, but still even nonetheless, score-wise.
Yeah, one of the guys from the Team Vindicus side having some issues. So that's why we're getting some technical passes here and there. We have them, so you can use them, of course, but hopefully there's not going to be too many issues again, because we just want to see a proper best of 3 finals where there's not going to be too much in terms of technical issues coming around. Just trying to get it sorted, and now they're ready to go again, and so are we, as we're living it back up. And it's 3-3. Like you said, the economy wise for the side from Team Vindicus is still not broken, but the side of Legionaris is obviously slowly starting to fall as well in terms of their economy. Still, like, probably one more buy after this coming out, but if that would be the case, could already be on 5 before you get yourself reset. There could be a lot of problematic things happen. The one who's now getting themselves a little bit of a round in a row, right? A little bit of a streak ongoing could definitely start by building up that lead. For now, it's all tied up. For now, we're just still going for another few stretches.
That was a pretty good smoke there to stall the team in art from Astra. So now we're going to see what's going to go happen, because the entire team now is just stuck in this art area. And anyone were to lurk on them right now, that would be very, very big information. But it seems like sort of have an idea. There's a Viper ult coming out now to sort of try and take space, force their way onto site. But they're not actually going to push. No, they're going to rotate off instead. Looks like they're going to go for a B hit. It seems
30
like
seconds left.
Fake, actually. Viper's going to stay behind, gets a pick. That's going to keep at least 1, maybe 2 people on A, while the rest of the team go and hit B. And that's it. Clear B. They're going to get the spike down, and let's see if their post-plant perfection is going to be in play again.
Yeah, it looks like it is. They picked them up before the side is even taken over, which is even nicer, of course. A very nice play there for the Legionaris to take away all the players needed. Now I have just 2 more players to fight against. A great crossfire being held on middle. We don't see it happening, of course, but there comes Vivara in with a frag. Leonar finds himself the trade, and the final kill comes in from Arland to take away the other jet. The battle won, and the attackers side back to winning ways. They've lost themselves 1, but they're back in the action and getting the side from Team Vindicus on an eco up next. They will be able to buy up sheriffs here and there, but definitely a better buy coming in for the Legionaris, making them be able to get from 4 to 5, and then already almost winning yourself the half, or at least tying the half up. Maybe Legionaris could start getting that streak up, what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep it up, they manage to follow the same pattern as last time, they might be able to pull another 2 rounds here. And if they do, that's going to bring the score to 6-3. I'll give them a pretty decent lead going into the second half, even if they do manage to bring it back. Because then, it'll be a tie game 6-6. And from what we've seen, Team Legionnaire, defensive-wise, seem to have it. So, if they keep it up, Legionnaire might be able to get this map. I mean, it is their pick, so it's not necessarily surprising they're performing well, but depending on how well they are, I might be able to set them up even better for the next half.
Oh, look at this. Players pushing in from behind. Leonar getting 1, will get traded away. The Sheriff's trying to put up some work, but The trades are coming in. On the side, you also still have to hold, but the kills seem to be enough for now at least. A 2 versus 2 has been found. The Sheriff with a ding coming out once again. Guy picks himself up another kill, and from behind the push comes in. Oh no, it's not 5-3. It's all gonna be tied up. The Sheriffs are doing the work, and they're once again a round which they shouldn't have been able to win. A Thrifty coming out, and it's all tied up once again.
Yeah, I think those 2 kills from
because it means you're my friend.
Arena
But maybe I
stuff,
should call you
I'm
Kwasia
going to
because
say,
you
from
follow.
R6. Those 2 kills from him there definitely changed around, because
should play
I
some
managed to
Astro
bring the
Stars
numbers
in this
down a bit more
reality.
even. They managed to get up close, that fade eye as well, spotting out fade at the top of long. Managed to allow Astra to get that dink and then secure the kill. I think overall that was a very good eco round for them, and maybe managed to find a small chink in their unbreakable post-crown armor.
Out there.
Maybe they can exploit that.
I mean, I mentioned it, right? Flanks might be a good opportunity, and that's exactly what it is. Initiate that flank with 4 players, and it seems to be what worked out. Team Vindicus might just get away from potentially losing the half to now still potentially winning it in a pretty promising fate, because next round still the attackers will have themselves some sort of a buy, but able to deny it for the next few bits and pieces would definitely be a nicely thought to think about. I think the fade from the attacking side forgot to buy armor, doesn't have it in play. That's really unfortunate, as he didn't get himself hit up yet, the fade. Now probably realizing that he doesn't have that, and it isn't because he wanted to like not invest too much, because the others are definitely on a much higher bit of money to work with than he is. But it's still unfortunate things happening, and now with that advantage, there might just be a side hold coming in, as Jet is still able to hold as well, getting Leonar off guard. He's looking for more. Ariam Star on the back of the side, trying to peek out with the op as soon as they get closer. The KO fragment to get the fade down very low. Still on the side, still running close. But of course, down to so little health. The operator able to find another frag. Ariam Star coming out huge one more time. And it's 2 players left to fight. The Jet is putting up the work. And Westwood with the final kill to get the 5th round on the board here for the Team Vindicus side. They are able to get themselves a next round up and running, and will be 1 round away from potentially resetting the side from Legionaris.
Yeah, and now it's 5-4 Team Vindicus, and it looks like they've also sort of got themselves in a bit of a rhythm now. We've got Ariam Star with the operator, and he's going to be playing it long. And looks like there's a timeout being called in from the attacker side here. Maybe,
The coach.
Maybe they want to have a bit of a re-evaluation, because they were a little bit hot at the start, picking up those 3 rounds, but it looks like Team Vindicus managed to turn it around here, so maybe they're going to have a bit of evaluation tactics. But so far, Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, so far it's been quite an amazing game. I think it's even better than the one we saw before. The main thing I sometimes see, as we do just see a train coming in. One thing I really like about Valorant is how much effort they put into also making these parts of the map, right, so incredibly designful, right? For example, from my perspective in a game like CSGO, there would just be everything in the map. Whenever you're walking into the map, you will be seeing clear shadows. But as soon as you get outside of the playing area, it's not going to be putting too much detail into it. But look at this, just buildings being built around, right? It just looks like it's an actual city still. It could still be a Valorant map in a whole. Not as much detail as, for example, inside of the map been put in, but still make sure that whenever their cinematics are coming in, you're at least making sure you get yourself every single piece sorted out. And for now, the match has been quite good. What I mean with that, a lot of back and forth throwing. Every single round just seems like it's going every single thing, every single side it could fall, and Alet is going to make sure that will continue to be. A thing I really like about Valorant is that it can continue to go 100 million times around back and forth, and it will still just be continuing to be, right? Every team, one round goes the other way, then the other one will go the way of that other team. It's just back and forth throwing every single time. That's what I love to see. It's all tied up once again, because it looks like Killjoy has to make the impossible work again. Westwood maybe using his ult would create him some space, but it is going to be a waste, in my opinion, using it right now. The turret will be destroyed. He's going to be seen. Storm Grenade used, at least making sure Leona cannot swing in from the left side anymore. Now the peek comes out, he's gonna push through, and 5-5, it's all tied up once again. Legionaris able to keep the game tight.
That tech is only as good as
Touching on what you said earlier about everything happening in Valorant at once, I think it's sort of like an organized chaos in a way, where you have all these different abilities that interact with each other differently, and you have things that can force you off of an angle, things that can explode you, for example, if you're playing Raze, things that can spot you. So I think it's like that chance of randomness, any ability popping out at any time, it's just always something there to just keep you on your toes. And I think when you get two like teams like this where aim-wise they're both great,
You should run.
you know, when you've got abilities like this, it really comes down to like who's got the better timing, who's got the better ability usage, and that's where you see like the differences when you start getting like higher level play.
Exactly. Well, what you're saying, I really like the point, because what I usually see is, in my eyes, it looks so incredibly like chaotic, right? But these teams, the fact that it's looking so chaotic, but they're still able to like find some sort of calmness and, you know, make sense out of what is happening. That's a team that is good, right? Whenever there's so much happening on the side, but it all makes sense. There's all a piece needed, and just like this again, there's so much happening, but it seems to be the side from Legionaris able to work with it, capitalize on it, and are able to find their own spots through and get things sorted. On the attacking side, they're looking to pick themselves up the potential half win still, as it could still be a 7-5 half win.
Yeah, I think they're gonna save. It looks like they might save, because going for a flank now, especially in a 2v5, is definitely a bit too late. And I think keeping it up when the game is this close isn't too bad of an idea, because you can just use that again on long next round, and they don't necessarily have enough money to invest in another round again. So I think them just choosing to save this round here is a wise decision, because it's causing too much of a snowball effect if they actually do end up
Last
losing
round
guns,
before
and
the
they
switch.
almost nearly did at the end.
Yeah, almost
So,
falling
yeah.
away there.
I mean, you can see now, like, the team buying, they're gonna have to buy Vandals and half armor. They might not even be able to buy full utility as well. So yeah, definitely a good decision to save there.
Yep, a good decision to save, and way more having to be found here for the attacking side. If you look at their buy, it's going to be a full buy versus a full buy now. Either 6-6, once again going the way the Valorant has so far been going, or gonna be a half win here coming out for the attacking side, and Legionaris looking very solid to pick themselves up their defenders half, as that has so far been their better side to work with. But that will all be happening in this round on its own, and Armstar already looking for a peek, spots out Jet just holding. Alet didn't see him, and he's gonna jump away. Greatly played there actually from Alet, not holding this angle too long, making sure Armstar isn't able to do too much. The jet knife being used, expecting a push to come out soon. But that's just a little bit of a fake, as rotations are starting to come in towards the A side.
And it looks like they don't actually want to attack B. It looks like they're moving... Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Looks like they're going back towards B, and they're doing a bit of a split push here. Trying to feel out where everybody is. Fade trying to get the read frag, but unfortunately couldn't. And now that's going to draw a little bit of distraction between the two teams. They're not sure whether they
30
should
seconds
rotate
left.
or not. And it looks like not. They decided to go for a B push. The Sage Wall has come down. The knives are coming out.
Spike planted.
Sage managed to just run out of there before that Molly can kill her. So looks like we're going to see another post plant retake situation.
Yeah, so far been looking good, but with this Astro Wall, with this Cosmic Divide, it could all be working its wonders for the attacking side. For the defending side, as the retake is already coming in, the defuse is already there, and at 6-6, it's gonna be won. Defenders have just won themselves the round, as you don't hear anything through that wall. Astra just played perfectly there, and it's all tied up to move our way into the next half.
Yeah, and that, honestly, I thought maybe one of those Viper, Mollies, or anything would have actually been able to get them off the spike, but I don't think it was shot far enough for it to actually land on top of the spike. So they just got a free defuse off that ult. To be honest, like no one heard it. They didn't fake it either. They just held 4 and prayed. It worked out in their favor. So that brings the half to 6-6. This means Legionnaires are on defense, and if their defense was anything like Haven, this game could possibly go in their favor. But
This
we have yet to see Team Vindicus on attack. So maybe their attack is better than their defense.
That's a nice little shop. We were just flying through the shop for a second, seeing all the articles laying around, and that's just something for Pearl, right? It's designed so well. A nice little bit of a city. Every single house being nicely built around, and as you mentioned, of course, if we talk about the Valorant back, of course, that's where the action happens. We do, in fact, see a game which could have gone one way or another, but it's now still just tied up. Both teams don't want to let go of it, and both teams don't seem to be able to, you know, pinch a little bit further in. About the same level, and that's just the thing.
Yeah, there hasn't really been too much of like a lead on either side. You'd get maybe 1-2 rounds, but it's never really been like 3 rounds between each other. So this is a really close match, and I think it's gonna get closer and closer as the game goes on. Like as more rounds, more maps. As soon as they feel each other out a bit more, it's gonna get tight. It's gonna get really down to the wire.
Yeah, we've seen a half that went 6-6. Now maybe another half that goes around the same. We'll still have to find that out, as the pistol round will definitely decide who's going to take that early lead for now, and is going to be able to potentially find a little bit more. The attacking side is at least starting off good by picking up the first kill. Suck comes in. Hand is obviously already getting destroyed, and the post plant will now have to be played. Trying to go for that retake, of course, as it's Fafara still picking up the frag on the back of the side, still trying to hold, and nice hold from the back of the lines, comes out. It's a 2 versus 3 that comes out, now just a Jet remaining, trying to go for the retake. Aret tries to do it, but all that is going to be spotted out, is going to be seen. The knife comes out as well, just to end it with a little bit of extra sauce, and it's the attacking side, the team Vindicus, that walks away with their first round of the half.
Knife was a little bit of a statement there. Trying a little bit of mind games, getting into their head. So I throw them off guard for a little bit. You don't usually see stuff like that happen in tournaments, let alone a grand final.
It is definitely looking solid here for the attacking side to try find themselves a whole lot more. 1 round is found, but 6 more having to be taken here for the team Vindicus. So there's a good chance, there's a solid opportunity for them to take more. But the first little bit of foundation laid out. Look at this. Elliot trying to go for a fast peek. Able to get attacked, but that's about it.
It looks right now that Team Vindicus don't really want to be pushing up too much. They want to see if anyone's going to push them, see if they can catch any flankers, and try and see if they can find a site that's open. But right now, it looks like they're going for a 5 push. Hey, I didn't know I managed to get 1 kill, but fortunately manages to get traded out, so that leaves them in a 4v3 situation. Will they be able to get the spike down? Looks like they will. So now it's going to be a retake. Let's see how well they can do this.
Yep, retake must be initiated. Post plant has been found. Great kill there for Star coming out, and it looks like an 8-6. Or can Alet do the absolute impossible here with his Marshall? Already able to find himself too. Looking for even more. The flash has been lined up. 519, lining it up, popping it in, right into his face. Not a flash that bounces back in as Gurgim getting himself taken down. Round will be won. The attacking side keeping on winning and needing themselves now 5 more. Of course, that bonus buy could be a very well thing again. A little bit of the same scenario as before. Winning this round will get you into a very comfortable positions. Vandals potentially going to be picked up. Economy through the roof. But it isn't likely.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Team Vindicus take 2 rounds at the start, and then Team Legionnaire completely spinning that around. So we can't completely count them out yet. We have seen them able to pull it back on that 3rd round. So if
Barrier
Get out of
created.
my
anything
way.
is to repeat from the third half, they might be able to get this round here. But
I have the spike.
ultimately speaking, Team Vindicus seem to be playing very well right now. You know, they've had final round on defense. Now they've got these 2 wins here. It's just 3 wins in a row. So they might be on a little bit of a hot streak.
Looking to get not only those 3 rounds in a row going, but maybe even more. 4 would be nice, and then 5 might be following up soon. That's the Jet Earl finally won, and with the lesser buy, it already means a good start, becoming a possible good finish here for the Team Vindicus, and possibly winning themselves this round, and in general winning the map. Could obviously mean moving into your map pick next, that you're going to be looking quite comfortable to close things out. They know that Legionaris was good on the map, but look at that kill! The double updraft for Aimstar to get the frag and find his extra jet knives to come out once again. This is beautiful stuff, and it's the attacking side that's now really looking like they're gonna put themselves up a little bit of a bigger fight, as that spike still has to come in. It looks to be pushing their way through into the A side, but you have to be very careful, as you could still get denied. That wall is still up, I think, here for Viper. Never mind, Viper obviously getting destroyed. I thought it was a Sage wall, to be fair. But here, spike will go down, and it looks like there's gonna be a retake coming in. Fade still trying to hide from that long area, from that long position. Still, just a needle that's starting to pinch through. Look at this, the retake coming in. All that smoke in his own pathway off, looking to go for one more. Doesn't have himself the dash to work with. Favera will be left to fall, but the kill seems to come in. It looked like Astra has done enough. He's running in, trying to deny it. It's halfway done. Fade is sticking. Will be faking it and gets the kill. How is this working out? Legionaris are just walking away with yet another round that they should have never been able to win.
Yeah, like that fade back there, like that round saver, 100%. Like she was waiting up in main that entire round, waiting for them to push through restaurant, but nobody came because they all went through art instead. And then instead of trying to peek onto them as soon as they're putting the spike down, he just waited for them to play default, waited for them to come round, and no one checked. No one's going to be expecting a fade to be hiding in main, and he managed to get not 1, not 2, but 3 kills and a defuse to win a round. So that was a very big round, and if they keep it up, they might be able to, you know, run away with this.
Yeah, they might be, but if you look at the buy right now, it's definitely not that comfortable. You do have yourself that jet knives coming out, but always able to build onto that. Missing yourself some knives will give you obviously no weapon to really work with anymore. You do have yourself some small pieces of armor as well here and there. That bulldog coming out, and still both teams on the edge of getting reset. So 10 potentially in the cards here for the TV side, but also a 9 potentially in the cards for the defending side. There goes the ult already, because not only that little armor to work with, but also because of the headshot from the Vandal being so incredibly deadly. The first kill is found, and Armstar tries to look for a second. It's so close. This is a stare down, but Mora only has a bulldog to work with, and he will now be seen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a standoff there at mid, but no one managing to convert anything yet. They are suspicious of the Sage being there. They are sort of spamming
30
through the
seconds
smoke.
left.
And ooh, almost had it. If that smoke had gone down even a split second before, you might have actually been able to catch that jet off guard. And now they're just going to walk down and explode on site. And they're going to check site first, see if anybody's there. Nobody is, so they're going to get the spike down. And it's
10
now
seconds
2v5.
left.
13
Spike planted.
there. We can see if they can try and get a couple picks here to break
Last
the economy,
player
but
standing.
that's pretty much the most they can do. Losing around for either team here would be terrible for their economy, so seems like it's gonna actually go in the way of Team Vindicus, and it's gonna be 9-7.
Both teams could have been reset, and the team that it is will be the Legionaris, going for an Deagle buy, a Sheriff buy now. That will give Team Vindicus an opportunity to go for their double digits, making themselves be in a 3-round range once again, away from the Legionaries, but not only that, also in the 3 rounds range of closing out the full game. And potentially winning map 1 with that. Things are starting to look better, but look at this mid clinch. There's gonna be a lot of players having to watch for it and probably not completely ready. 519 is to get the first. Westwood is helping him out as well. And just like that, the kills are seeming to be found, but not quite connecting on them all, as it's still a 2 versus 3. The defender's still holding on, but not quite anymore, as it gets completely shut down, and the round will be won. It's double digits on the board now for this side of the Team Vindicus.
Very aggressive. That was a very aggressive round up there. It was a absolute bloodbath in mid. There was trades going in left, right, and center, but it seems like Team Vindicus managed to win their duels, and that caused them to win the round. That Killjoy there at the end, desperately trying to run to cover, but Jet absolutely not letting them out of her sides, going after her. So let's see, Team Vindicus running away with it now, 10-7, 3 rounds to take the game point.
3 rounds to take the win. The buy comes out from the defender's side, but is it going to be enough to hold? You have that operator, but of course a full storm of players starting to move their way into the A side.
See if Team Vindicus here managed to get a win, that would absolutely cripple Team Legion's economy, because this round they full bought, and you can see their credits right now. It's not looking too hot, so they managed to win this round. It will put them at a bit of an economic advantage, but if Team Legion managed to win this, they'll be hanging on, closing that gap, and they need to get this win here on their map, because it could spell a little bit of trouble if Team Vindicus get this win here on this map, because next map will be their pick. They'll feel way more comfortable there. And we wouldn't really want to see early finals like this now. I want to see 3 games, 3 matches down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're already seeing, in terms of how the competitiveness has been, a quite good final. But that 3rd map would really be securing us a beautiful one, right? Would really be going all the way. But I definitely feel like if Haven goes exactly the way that Pearl has so far been going, we're definitely in for a quite nice treat. But we can already tell that the defending side, usually the side where the Legionaries have been the ones to really strike, really be the ones to show themselves off, have currently not been the case. 519 has to be careful, as he will get detained. Doesn't really realize that he's basically stuck there. Will have to clear the corners. He will get taken away in the end. The 3 versus 3. That Spike still having to be defused. No one is on there. And what the fuck is this guy doing? I mean, that's what he's doing.
I'll find you.
He just came in and just sprayed all of them. Like, he just ran down Art, found all of them, and bam. I was not expecting that, to be honest. I didn't even notice he was there. I was too focused myself on what was going on in main.
Exactly. I didn't even see him flanking, and then it was 1, 2, 3, everyone just falling away. Another full buy round lost. And if you look at the economy, it's now in absolute shambles of the Legionaries. It does look like Team Vindicus shows us off. Why? Organizations to start to sign them, as they are looking to take not only map 1, but maybe even the full series with that, of course, because they are looking on fire right now. Who can stop them?
They are very aggressive right now. You can see that they're really trying to close this match out. Like, it's 11-7. They're really trying to get to this 12 so they can just put the pressure on them, get them in a chokehold, and then just get that final round.
Last player
13.
standing.
And I mean,
Spike
if you
planted.
do look at their previous matches, it was 13-8, 13-7. So if these matches do go
Match
anything like
point.
Team Vindicus's old ones, we might see them actually take this one away.
Placing
And
alarm bot.
if that's the case, they're going to put themselves at a map advantage twice by having them win on a map that they didn't pick and then go on and play a map that they themselves picked.
Yep.
So hopefully next round, or at least this round, Team Vindicus with a full buy.
Here.
I mean, not Team Vindicus, sorry. Team Legionnaire with the full buy can put a stop to this match-winning point.
Yeah, it was also fun to see there, because you saw Westwood actually, or Westwood, walking his way back to try and obviously reactive, or to try and clear the flank. But because of that, his alarm bot got active, right? And at that exact moment, there was 2 guys flanking in, which actually in the end gave the alarm bot a chance to actually strike versus a player that was already crossed around. So he couldn't stop the alarm bot from actually hitting him, which then caught him and obviously made him vulnerable, which made him unable to do anything other than just die in that round. There's going to be an Astral Wall coming in to try and avoid the defenders from going into the site, but they've already been able to get themselves into the site, as it's going to be a 5 versus 4. West Wundo coming out to pick himself up a trouble with a double. The two defenders are getting fallen away, but now a full stick comes through. The Nano Swarm is enough for Morad to fall away, and he's not able to get the defuse halfway. Now it's going to be a stick from Fate, not halfway done just yet. Now he will, but he will get sprayed away. Arimstar with the final frag, and it's 13-7 in the favor of the Team Vindicus. They pick up the final, how many rounds? I think final 6 or something. It was actually a very, very solid ending affair. I'm actually going to check that out real quickly. Timeline. The last 5 rounds gone their way. It was 6-6 in the halftime. The first 2 rounds went the way of the defenders. After that, there was 1 round the attackers still took back, or the defenders still took back at that point. And then 5 consecutive rounds for the Team Vindicus side. That's actually going to be very huge. Not only, right? Not only, Aki, because it is a win. Not only because of that, but the Team Vindicus side looked the strongest on the attacking side. Usually a side that Legionaris, when they're on the defending side, needs to fight against. And then, this was not even a map that they picked. Now we're moving towards Haven, which is a map they picked themselves. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Haven being the next map might not actually be too bad, because
True.
Team Legionnaire just come off of that map, and they did win that as well. So, if anything, they might be able to go into this with a bit of a, you know, not so, without that sense of dread, because they know they've just played this map, they just won this map. All it is now is just a different opponent. So, I think for this second map, I think Team Legionnaire really need to adjust a bit more. I think in the first map, on the first half, that was them feeling each other out. But I feel like as soon as that half switched, Team Vindicus knew immediately how they play, how to counter them. They put people on flanks. They made sure they're using their utility on the post plant. Like, they was basically doing everything that Team Legionnaire was doing, but just better. Without obviously trying to sound a bit too harsh. But they was doing things like the post plant with a lot more like accuracy. They was stalling longer. They was getting their sprays on point. It's like everything was a lot more organized. And I think if they go into the next map with that same level of organization, that they might be able to pick up a lot of rounds very quickly early on and put that pressure on Team Legionnaire. So hopefully next map we see Team Legionnaire pick up and get those early picks in, get those early rounds in, try and set themselves up good economy wise, so they can set themselves up good for the rest of the match.
Yeah, well, we'll have to definitely see that, but that will all happen, of course, after a short little bit of a break. We're gonna move our way into Haven soon. And yeah, we've just seen a little bit of a banger. Hopefully we're going to see that on the second map as well. And maybe on the third, if we make it into that Fracture map. But for now, we'll drop it into a short little bit of a break. We're going to be back with Haven with a 1-0 lead here for the Team Vindicus. They'll be battling their way through. But if it's going to be happening, that will still be a thing we have yet to see. After that, after a short little bit of a break, we're going to be back. About 5 minutes, we should be back up and running. So see you guys after that.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and
feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary
Hello, hello, hello everybody, welcome back, of course, Haven. Maybe our final map of the Blue Skirmish number 3, 5v5 Valorant tournament for the 25 pounds, could be won right here, right now, by the lovely team of the team Vindicus. They could be taking it. They could be taking their own map pick to win this whole event and take away the prize money. On the other side, there's still Legionaries trying to play against them, and I'm of course still joined by Ace here to watch it with me in this series. And we're gonna see a little bit of the same setup for both of the teams probably come out. We saw a little bit of shenanigans coming out from the finally rich, obviously with that Phoenix and with some other compensation coming out. But I feel like we're gonna see the same lineups now coming through, as Moira, he has so far been going for that Astra as well. Now he's actually switching for some other weird things. I don't see a Sova yet, which is making me a little bit concerned. But probably Moira is going to go for the Sova, or someone is. They're just switching their composition around. Are they going to choose the Brimstone here? Wow. That's actually looking quite solid. Moira is looking to go for a Brimstone in this composition. I like what I'm seeing, but at the same time, that Omen on the other side is still just a deadly pick most of the time. Am I right about that, Ace?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, myself, I'm an Omen main. So, like, I always like playing Omen regardless. But I have noticed that on maps like Haven and like Fracture, for example, like he's really good, especially when he has his ultimate, because he can just rotate instantly, help his team out on the other side. And Omen's always a good pick because his flash is like one of the strongest flashes in the game, where it's essentially undodgeable. Like, you see an Omen flash coming towards you, you're most likely going to get hit by it. And just his utility overall, I just think it makes him a very good pick. But at the same time, Brimstone is also an incredibly good pick, especially on Haven, because he can get his smokes down almost instantly. He's got that ult of his that will stop anybody from defusing the spike. And then he's got post plant potential as well, where he's got his molly to deny defusal. So I think team comp on both teams, very solid.
Yeah,
it's a come down to who uses their abilities at the perfect time and who uses it better.
Yeah, the only difference in the lineup, as we have seen obviously with the previous meta, right? When Ascent was there, we usually saw this composition, and then of course the Breach thrown out with the KO. It was always the difference, always the four main men, but then the only difference was the smoker. You could choose either Astra, Omen, or Brimstone. Now, and we're seeing exactly the same obviously right now coming out, but then on Breach, all four compositions are there: the Breach, the Sova, the Jet, and the Killjoy, and the only difference is the smoker. So that's gonna be the difference we have to make, and a few things we might be witnessing throughout the game, maybe with those post plants. Yep, Brimstone is gonna be more important, but that flash, that smoke from Omen, might just be a little bit more useful. We're gonna all have to see it in this game, as the pistol round is already on the way, and the spike is already halfway done. They're trying to run their way back in, but they're looking to be stopped. The Sova is doing everything, and it's the round going the way of the Legionaries. They're going to walk away with round number 1 to be just one step closer towards potentially making us go to a third map. It's still a long going, but the first round is on the board.
Yeah, and that first round going straight to Legionnaires, I think that they were very aggressive. Like, you saw all of them, 5 of them running up C-long, clearing sight. And I think that's what they're going to have to do on this map here, especially on attack, because when they was on attack last map, they wasn't necessarily doing the best. And then they managed to bring it back on defense. So I think now they've maybe had that time to evaluate what went wrong on their first map. And I think we might see a stronger team on this map now, especially with that practice they had earlier.
And a fun thing as well is because of the map actually being picked by the Vindicus side. The side from Legionaries can usually then pick the sites where they want to start on themselves. Usually their defender side has been the better looking, but they're actually starting off on the attacking side now. And it works out. I mean, that's the thing. Usually you would potentially see the attacking side then not work out so they can end strong. But now already having a good start, well, That's making a whole lot of sense in the meantime why they chose for that. And they could be actually what keeps them going. And then to shut it down on the defending side in the end, to get the game on the defending side when you already have the T side basically won.
Sorry about that. I couldn't hear you for a second. But sorry, could you just repeat that for me one more time?
No, I mean the fact that the attacking side, obviously the side of Legionaris now picked the attacking side themselves, and now obviously the fact that they're winning, they had to choose. Do you want to start on the defending or on the attacking side? They chose for the attacking side this time, which means that they didn't really necessarily think of having an early lead. The fact that they're getting an early lead now, though, is just a very nice bonus.
Yeah, I think picking attacking side on Haven first puts you at a bit more of an advantage, especially because this map is a bit more attacking sided. Because, like you mentioned earlier when we was casting on Haven, that there's only 5 people on the team and there's 3 sides, so that's gonna leave at least one side with one less player. And if you pick that gamble right, you might actually be able to get on site. And the earlier round you can get on attack on Haven, because it's gonna set you up very well for that second half.
Yeah, and the side from Legionaris was actually the one to look good on the defending side, but now on the attacking side, little bit of a post plan. They're looking to fall away. The aftershock comes out. The stick from 519. He's swinging out for more. Gets the frag, but the time is running out. A third round gets won. I mean, a good point you're making about the defending side or the attacking side looking solid. But so, the Legionaris side didn't look good on the attacking side of themselves in that game we saw versus Finally Rich. So that was a little bit of a difference from a usual thought that we saw. Guessing that Legionaris is going to be good on their defending side. But now starting off by also picking up the bonus buy. Oh boy. This is looking very good for Legionaris.
Yeah, I think right now with this 3-0 lead, they've got the economic advantage. You know, Team Vindicus are going to have to buy light. And they're going to have to buy sheriffs. I think right now, we're seeing a very good start from them. And I think even if they were to lose this round, they still have that 2-round advantage. So, honestly, this round is essentially like, even if they win or lose it, they're still going to be in a good position. But if they manage to get this win here and further their lead, then they're just setting themselves up for success later on in the match.
And looking at the buy for the defender side is obviously absolutely horrible, right? Only sheriff, so this round is probably even going to be like a must for them to take. Winning this one will set you up for another full buy versus full buy round. If you win that one, you're gonna be even up 5-0, maybe 6-0 in this map. On the side where you seemed less favored on. That is just something else, as it is the opponent's map pick. And you might just be not 4, not 5, maybe not even 6-0, but even more than that up inside of your unliked half. We're going to be seeing it all happen, of course, because the side will now be challenged. Sova Dart not spotted out the killjoy on the back of the side, giving Westwood an opportunity to strike with the Ghost. Putting in some work, trying to pick up the Vandal, but it's obviously Delirium right in front of him to take him away, get the frag. Still on the side, playing the post plant, not to his fullest potential, but will still be trying to hold them from coming in. Will be taken away, 3 versus 3, but this is going to be a hard one to deal with, because you're spotting them out, but how are you going to deal with them? Not quite, at least. That Nanoswarm getting taken away. Vivera is actually going for the stick. He will be burning alive. Turned the wrong way around. Maybe if he turned the other way around, it would have been working away, but it didn't seem to be, as all the kills are found, and Legionaris picks themselves up their 4th round.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing another textbook post-plant, like, play here, where they just don't peek. Wait for everyone to try and defuse it. Just go for lineups. Go for post-plant utility. And I think, honestly, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know? If that's the strategy that's working and they're unable to actually find a counter to that, keep on doing it until they counter it. Because it's going to keep getting you rounds. It's going to keep getting you wins. It's going to make your economy go up.
If you look at it right now, the operator without any shield full buy is good for the defending side, but losing yourself another round will get more and more consequences start to come in. The orbital strike to burn him alive. Look at that. An entry already found, and that was the weapon they might have had the biggest chance of finding themselves some entries with, is now been destroyed, and it's a 5 versus 4. Legionaris have found themselves into a scenario where they're now in an advantage to work with, looking to find themselves more than just these 4, and with Leonard coming in from middle, that might just be the kill. They need another entry taken, a retake that's going to be so incredibly hard, and that spike just keeping on ticking away. Ace, what am I seeing?
I think what we're seeing here is a realized team Legionnaire.
One enemy
We've
remaining.
seen them go through a lot in the past couple hours, and I think now they're fully dialed in. Like they know what's at stake here. They know it's the final match. They know that if they lose this, this is the finals. So I think this is them putting themselves. Yeah, and you can see it now. Team Vindicus calling a timeout because they need to put a halt. They need to put a halt to Team Legionnaire right now because they are 5 rounds ahead. If this keeps going up, they can get to 6, they can get 7, and that means going into the next half, they're gonna start off with a round advantage. So I think Team Vindicus really need to take a bit of time here, see if they can try and find out a plan. Maybe cool them off a little bit so that they can also heat up themselves because yeah, team Vindicus not looking so hot right now.
Man, that's weird, because they just won themselves a game. You would say that fire is starting to then be initiated a little bit, but aside from Legionaris, the only thing that a win has done to them is them wanting to go for this more and more, them wanting to fight for every single piece. Things have been working out. Oh, even a Valorant map has in the edge of the map a building that's not fully formed. Not that that matters though. You will never reach there. Maybe with 20 updrafts and a few like dashes from the jet, you might eventually go there when you teleport out and use no clip. Maybe then there's a small chance of you making it there. But as a matter, looking at the buy now for the Team Vindicus side, their spark seems to have faded a little bit, and they're looking at to find themselves some peaks. But it's mainly Binge and Legionaris side on this attacking side, looking the strongest. Even a wall being found. It was obviously a nice little bit of a recon bolt there on the back of the side to spot them out. But still, the fact that a kill just seemed so easy is just something else. The spike will go down, and the retake must be initiated soon.
Right now, what we're going to see is hopefully another textbook
One enemy remaining.
retake. Not retake,
One down.
postpone hold. But the bot letting everybody know exactly where Westwand is. And he's going to be fighting uphill
Revealing area.
right now to try and get this defuse and hopefully try and get a first round on the board for them. And manages to get one. Fortunately, doesn't manage to pick up the last one in garage. And it's going to be 6. No, 7.
Drink some water, reload your
6.
mags, and let's
Gonna
get
be
back
6-0.
out there.
Looks like that timeout did not stop Team Legionnaire at all. They're going to go right back to business, pick up another round, and keep the pressure on.
It was obviously not the better buy coming out right for the defender side, so definitely not a one that they can be ashamed of to lose. But now with that full buy, even those rounds have so far been going the way of the Legionnaires every single time. And being able to find 6 in a row is already making you have at least a half being tied up in the end before the opponents have even found themselves a singular thing. This time, full buy versus full buy. Maybe one of the biggest chance the Team Vindicus side has ever had. But here it goes. First kill found. Mora getting himself traded away by this guy, who's able to get out there alive. And the push into the A side looks to be coming in. Alet want to find himself first contact. Tries to dash away. Doesn't manage to do that. Gets stuck. And that gives Vivara a chance to find the frag. With an entry, they're still able to at least play the side of a retake for quite a bit. But that spike will go down nevertheless. Getting a little bit of a better thought waste towards the side of the defenders. Never mind. Still a kill found for Vivara. Will get taken away. It's all left now to the Killjoy to do it. Leonard, he might be lining himself up some nano swarms, but that's really all that he can do. He's also getting detained, yeah. I wasn't even thinking of it. but he doesn't have himself too much to do anymore. The defuse will come in, and the first round is going to be on the board here for the Team Vindicus. Finally, they find themselves a round, but at what cost? So many ults used, and yet just one round.
I think that ult timing was very, very well timed, because he managed to put his ult down maybe a second or two before they actually decided to plant. And by the time the ult was already down, they was already mid-plant. So I think that Killjoy definitely managed to, you know, bring it back for them a little bit, and then get in that detain at the very end to just secure that round. I think hopefully we can see a bit of a momentum shift.
Get out of my
Hopefully we can
way.
get a couple more rounds for Team Vindicus. Show us that they're not actually out of the running yet.
Cover going out.
I mean, the fun thing is obviously they won't be, right, after they lose this map. But winning it would just secure themselves that 2-0 that they much really wanted. Maybe not something that we necessarily want or do. I mean, I don't know from which side you guys are watching or for which side we really are as casters. We are just pretty neutral in this game. Personally, don't have... I mean, we have love to everybody. I was going to say not love to any of the teams, but we have love to every team. And that's why we just want the games to end as long as possible. But these two teams, I think, decided from Team Vindicus, which is like to end it in a 2-0 as fast as they could. 13-0, 13-0. They don't care. They just want the money and the rounds. But that's not going to be too easy. Here comes the retake in. This guy gonna get taken away by the jet knives in the back of the side. Able to find himself a double. Will get traded out. But again, the post plan has been played. But look at that. The jet Arinstar doing absolutely everything. Dashing in. Catching him off guard to find the fourth. Updrafts comes in. The Hunter's Fury to try and stop the defuse is halfway done. Still, the Hunter's Fury won't be able to find the frag. And it's the second round on the board. Team Vindicus keeps on going. And they might just be taking a little bit of a comeback. What looked like an impossible game now turned into somewhat possible.
I think there might have been a little bit of a slow burner there on that timeout. They might have not got their immediate round after the timeout, but it looks like they are heating up. They've managed to get 2 defuses, so that means they are countering their post play very well. Maybe they've managed to figure something out in that small timeout there, but whatever it is, it seems to be working because it's now 2-6. The economy is a little bit more even between the two teams, so whoever wins this round, it can benefit any of them.
Yeah, once again in a situation where both teams could be on the edge of falling down and on the edge of sparking in that next light. The next few bits and pieces. And both teams desperately want to do so. Aggression now shown over towards that B side or towards that A side. Trying to walk their way in. As the control has been taken over the A long.
We're just going to see Kareem just holding that long. He managed to dodge the flash and get that first kill onto a Sova. And he's just going to keep holding that. He's not going to wait for anybody. He's just going to see if he can... Oh, tries to run away from that ult, but doesn't manage to make it out. Will he be able to survive?
One enemy remaining.
Doesn't land it.
Spike down A.
Let's see. 1v3.
Looks like
And
I
the
was a
round
smarter one.
ends up going into the hands of Team Vindicus. 3 rounds in a row. This is really good for them. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, things are looking better and better. As we said, on the brink of getting reset. And now, this is their final buy they have. And it won't even be a full Vandal buy. There will be a Sheriff on there. There will be Valerium having to choose which side he wants to go for. Not even buying up too much. They're actually going for an eco in this round. Just buying up those 2 Guardians to still try and find themselves some headshots. And the Sheriff to get some peeks here and there. But it won't be a good buy. Giving a chance for the 4th round in a row to be won now by the Team Victorious. And as we said earlier, Ace, it looked so solid for Legionaris to even find more. But since the 6 rounds they've won in a row, they haven't won themselves a singular thing. And we might see a 6 rounds in a row now from the defending side as well coming in to move into the next half.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep this up now, they might be able to actually bring it back to 6-6. And if it goes to 6-6, if it's anything like the last match, Team Vindicus might be able to just run away again with it. But like we've seen before, Team Legionnaire on defense, not to be messed with. They can easily pick up 5 rounds, 3 rounds in a row. So, I think we've got a match on our hands.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can really say about it, right? And I'm honestly just a little bit, I'm looking forward to that attacking side from the Team Vindicus, because it's been solid on a map like Pearl. It's been very solid, their attacking side. And now moving into a map where, realistically speaking, like you said before, Ace, the attacking side should be in their favor a small little bit of a bit. Meaning that the defending side might be good for Legionaris, but the attacking side for Team Vindicus has so far been looking good. And they're now starting to build that rhythm up, might have some extra momentum pushing in, or getting themselves in to this game as well, which is only starting to add things up. Here they go, trying to walk their way in. 5 versus 4 has already been found, and 2 players ready to hold on to the sides.
I think right now, what we're going to see is a little bit of a slower play from Team Vindicus. I think we've seen them rush into sight, we've seen them explode, but I think right now they don't want to keep doing the same tactic over and over again, because they're going to get countered. And I think that's great to have that flexibility, to be able to keep the enemy on their toes. That's the kind of stuff you need in these long, drawn-out matches. Keep that unpredictability, so that one round, they're not going to be able to counter you. And I think right now, with the way how they're playing, keeping them on their toes at
30
all
seconds
points
left.
is definitely what's going to be the best thing to just draw them out for these long rounds.
Yeah, and the main thing that helped the defending side was obviously Alet with the Jet playing so incredibly good. And now we see exactly the same from a Reamstar coming in. He's been popping off. The kills have been found, and absolutely no one could say anything about it. Alet will be falling away, and he needs to be initiated there. If he starts to play very good on that defending side with the operator, is able to catch them off very, very easy, we are going to be seeing Legionaris have a very, very nice next half. But as soon as Team Vindicus, which they can, right? That's the thing I really want to underline in the statement I'm making. Try to capitalize on what the opponents are doing. Avoid that operator from getting initiated. Team Vindicus is going to walk away with it. It's as easy as it can be. They need to find where the operator is, what he's doing, how he's doing it. Try to avoid going there, or try to peek with 2 guys to try and trade them out. You have yourself the round. It's as easy as it can be. It sounds very easy. Obviously, the execution might be a little bit harder, but we're having ourselves a real game after we thought was going to be a very one-sided one. Armstar took it down, took it into his own hands, and has now gotten themselves a chance to even tie things up.
Yeah, and I mean, if they manage to tie this up here, then that's going to put the pressure on them again. And they're going to have to step up even bigger. And it seems like no matter how many steps Team Legionnaire takes, they're just going to keep getting a push back every now and then. And I think in matches like these, you need to have that mental fortitude to just push through and just say, next round, just go again. So, it's going to be tough, but whoever wins this, it's going to be hard.
Wow. Look at this retake as well.
You see it there, they're locked in now. It's 6-6, and they've managed to bring it back, and they're going to switch halves. We're going to see who's going to take this round, who's going to take this map. Because if you asked me this 10 minutes ago, I would have said it's Team Legionnaire, but now I can't give you a definitive answer.
Look at this. 6 rounds in a row by the attackers. 6 rounds in a row by the defenders. We're down to square one. But we thought it was almost over. We might have been almost certain. But never mind. 6 in a row found now for the side from Team Vindicus. And now the game is actually starting to become a whole lot interesting. Both teams on what looks to be their best side. And it's all tied up again. And there's only one more half to play. Woo! I'm starting to get a whole lot more excited, and the pistol round will definitely be deciding quite a lot. We do know that Team Vindicus is walking away with a little bit of an advantage in terms of momentum, but that was also the case when they won the map. What happened after that? They lost 6 rounds in a row. What does it mean? Complete craziness. I don't even know anymore.
Well, let's hope this craziness continues because right now I'm enjoying every moment. Seeing it go back and forth like this, it's like the matches where there is no definitive winner and you can't tell what's going to happen next is
Spike
always the
planted.
most exciting. Keeping us on their toes, keeping everyone on their toes, it's what makes for a great match.
One enemy remaining.
Here it comes, the kills are found, the Sheriff trying to put into work, Vavar will fall away, and a round that's found for Legionaris. Picking it up after 6 rounds in a row lost, they start off by finding themselves the pistol. And now, 6 rounds in a row again, Copium?
Well, I mean, it definitely isn't out of the capability. I mean, if they do pull off these 6 rounds here, then we're going to go to map 3. And if we go to map 3, I'm going to get my wish.
I mean, I'm gonna be, I mean, it would be nice for the series. It wouldn't be nice for my sanity, but that's another aspect for something else. Here we see the house burning down. That's how one of the teams could be burning down if they lose 6 more rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean...
We'll just have to see it.
They lose 6 rounds in a row, especially on this final round. I mean, the team we don't want to see lose 6 rounds in a row is Team Legionnaire. They're going to be out. So, this round here, maybe if they get this win, they can put a stop to that. Maybe get a bit more economy on their side. Just sort of even things out. Keep it at 7-7.
Yeah, I mean, buy-wise it's not looking too solid, but able to equal things out. Team Vincigras could be showing us exactly that. But it's not the best of buys to work with. Next round, of course, once again, will be a full buy coming out for 17 Vindicars. If they lose or win, doesn't matter which way. The other side will have a bonus buy, either if they win or lose the next round. Not going to be easy for both teams to pick it up. Whoever will do so is going to get themselves a comfortable start. And with 35 seconds, looks like we are going to head into an AXX soon.
Seconds left.
With Alet seeing the Recon Bolt fly, try to destroy it, but look at the push. It's looking to be initiated, and it's just Stingers. Here, Ace. What am I seeing with the Stingers? This gun has been buffed, of course, recently, but it looks like they're even better than Vandals right now, as you're just absolutely obliterating the full opponents. Once more kills are found, but that Sheriff from Hakan is also been initiated quite well. Westwood, though, coming out with a Stinger once again, picks up the final kill with an Honor Swarm, and we are going to be in a tied-up game once again. And now, Team Vindicars might be taking the lead for the first time, because, ladies and gentlemen, they haven't taken that yet. They haven't taken the lead. They've been on the score, but not beyond the score yet.
Yeah, I think right now, they're showing us that it's not over, I think. And the back and forth between these two teams is probably the most exciting part. You're getting
Deep breath.
everybody's getting a chance to show out. It's not just
Scanning
one
ahead.
team dominating the other. And I think the more balanced it is, I think even like when you was mentioning earlier with Team Vindicus like wanting to be signed by an org, like in cases like this is where they can show that like, look,
One enemy remaining.
we can do this. That I'm actually speechless.
You just shredded through them like they were absolutely nothing.
I forget what point I was making before. Like, or you just get a 4K and win a round.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, those are the plays you can really speak about and think, oh, you have to sound yourself by an organization, and also in these games, like winning these finals pretty convincingly, shredding through the opponents, showing yourself off. You have to show yourself off in these tournaments and win those consistently for organizations to start noticing you, and they're definitely applying a good amount of, they're showing themselves off in a great way. Now just having to do that on the attacking side. As soon as those attacking sides are starting to be pulled off and you're starting to be adapting to those teams as well, it gives an indication to an organization that you're serious about things.
Yeah,
Coming back.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say before that 4K decided to throw me off track. But it showed orgs that like you have good versatility. Like even if you are completely stomping a team, it's not really showing a true test of skill, if you get what I mean. Because you could just be autopiloting, just hitting your shots. Like when it's matches like these where you have to think, you have to try and find a way around the problem. Like this is where it separates the players who are like used to doing stuff like this and players who are new to doing stuff like this. And the more experience you get in matches where it does go on for longer, you can work on those skills where you have to decide on, you know, what plan to use, especially when going against teams that are very evenly matched against you as well.
An ult trade coming
30
out,
seconds left.
giving some extra space to now execute a side. Looks like it will be still A, even though defender side aren't fully pulling the plug for that to happen, or for the defender side to fully hold it. Still gonna be Larian picking himself up one, the operator coming out to pick up a frag, and that's exactly, you should try and avoid that from happening. It's not gonna be easy though, it's easier said than done. And now before the spike is even planted, they're already looking to initiate a retake. Great pick fam for this guy, looking for another one as 519 keeps on going, frags himself out a double, and even the final kill also found. This guy picks up the final frag, and it's 9 on the board now for the side from Team Vindicus. They're moving and sailing towards a victory right now, as they are looking to pick themselves not only the next one up, but probably even way more than that. The next buy won't be good, as you guys can see now for the Legionaries on your screen. A Guardian, a Bucky, a Stinger, and 2 Sheriffs. That's all that they have to offer in this round, and you're playing against a full buy to avoid from going into double digits.
And we've seen Team Vindicus in this position before, where the scoreboard is 9-7 or 9-8, and they've just closed out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
As soon as they get to this point, they're just like, all right, time to take it home. So it is a very dangerous position for Team Legionnaire to be in, because even on the last match, the score was 13-7. So they really need to be careful now with how they spend their lives. They can't be giving away lives like that so easily. They need to take it a lot more slower and play a bit more careful. Especially when they're on a buy where, you know, they're not at the gun
Spike
advantage.
down, attacker
You can
spawn.
see them just slowly
Last
getting
player
whipped now
standing.
one by one.
Yeah, something happening, because sometimes when you push together, you get yourself those frags and it looks quite solid, but now those buys, of course, getting destroyed. Looks like the attacking side is, like you mentioned, as soon as they get to that point, 9-7, they were in that point as well, previous game. And since then, they just had something in their minds. Since then, they have been winning every single thing and are looking to take 13, and they're trying to do exactly the same right now. This blinding is obviously coming in as well, making sure that the breach is been put into an end, as that fault lines will hit him completely, making him stunned, and 10 will be found. 3 players surviving. A full buy comes in now for the side from Legionaris, but it might just be one of their final full buys they have before they concede the full tourney.
Yeah, I think they need, these next 2 rounds are essential for them, because if Team Vindicus get to that 12,
Placing
there's
alarm bot.
really not much stopping them from just closing it out. And I mean, we've seen Team Legionnaire perform well in defense before, so we know it's not impossible for them to bring it back. And we've also seen them win 5 rounds in a row, so they are capable of doing it. It's just if they're allowing themselves to do that. And I
Placing
think they
swarm
can.
grenade.
I think they just need to take it just a tiny bit slower and not push up so much. And they will be able to find a bit of value.
And the Jet has been a main thing that has been helping them out to find those rounds. As soon as he's not able to find the picks, what is going to happen next? Not a lot, as you guys can see, as there falls the first player already. The Brimstone taken away. Leonard still able to find one back, so at least the spike dropped. And it stops the plant as well, making sure they cannot play for the retake yet, to have to plant it again, and sets them up for a pretty decent retake. They're already very close before that site's been taken over. And here comes the defuse, or here comes the retake. It has to come in, and it's a full post plan being played. But what type of util do you still have to avoid it? I'm not too sure.
Well, I mean, right now, nobody else is on site, so all they really need to deal with is just long. There is a bit of a garage lurk, and they managed to stop the lurker. So what you really need to do now is just take down the last players on long. But with the
One
spike in
enemy
nice
remaining.
place, it's going to be difficult.
And it's impossible.
Yeah, he managed to get them both low, but he just couldn't get that final kill on either of them. And score's now 11-7. One more round, and this is going to be match point, game point even.
Hey, but Ace right. What you saw is completely right with that flank getting caught. But in the meantime, one flanker is getting caught, right, Ace? There's a flanker. Oh, that's nice. We killed the flanker. Oh, flanker is killed, guys. Focus on long. And then you realize 2 of your mates on side have already died. So you get the flanker, but on the long fight, you're completely losing it. And that's the fight that makes the most sense to win. You have to win that fight. Maybe the flanker can be dealt with a little bit later. But they focus on the flank, they kill it. But then the site is being lost and the retake cannot be initiated anymore. And it looks like we might just sail our way towards that victory. As here falls Mora as well. Jet says bye. And so says the site from Team Vindigus, as they are going to be moving towards match point right now if they win this themselves, this post plant. And again, they're moving towards long.
And I mean, it seems like Areem is just absolutely unafraid. Like, he's first one inside, boom, in your face, getting those picks, opening up that space for his team to just walk on site and get the plant. And it seems like going C just seems to be their bread and butter right now. Every time they go C, they're managing to get that plant down, and they manage to hold it all the way until that bomb explodes. And once again, you see, they just can't seem to handle
Match
the
point.
team coming from both long and garage. It just seems like their attention is too 100%, like you said earlier, on one thing. Like whether it's 100% on the flank or 100% on long, they're not able to split that or leave maybe one person to look at flank and one person to look at long. And it is costing them small moments where you lose a teammate, and that's a piece of utility gone. Maybe it's the Omen who dies and they can't smoke off long now to get the spike defused, and now it might even cause them the game.
Cover going out.
This might be the final round in play as the walk of death comes out. First kill found.
Again,
There he goes.
Straight onto site, like immediately, and they're smoking off garage. Like Areem just gets in their faces and just tells them, like, this is my site.
Exactly. He takes it, and the defender Killjoy ult is gonna be used. Now the attacking one as well. Yeah, they have to push their way into the side. It's Breeze that tries to run in. He will be falling away. Again, just playing from long. It has been working out. They aren't able to hold on to these sides whatsoever. It's been C every single time coming in. The fault line's used still. The stick comes in. The Killjoy is still on there. He's still sticking. Goes off it right now. But that's all the kills found. And we are gonna be done. It's gonna be the side from Team Vindricus winning the third blue scrimmage, taking the event and taking the £25 with them as well. They take the whole game. They take the whole series. 13-7, and 13-7 was all it took for them to be the winners of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that right at the end there. Like we said before, as soon as Team Vindicus get into that position where it's 10-7 or 9-7, they just close out the rest of the game. I think in that last half, they managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds in a row. I think that might
I didn't
have
even
been
see
the
that.
longest- Yeah, that's the thing, that might have actually been the longest win streak we've seen in this tournament, held today so far. So, I mean, honestly, incredible performance by Team Vindicus. They had a bit of a shaky start, going 6-0, but they had that timeout, and after that, they only lost 1 round.
I mean, 6 rounds was impressive, right, to have a streak. But now even 7? Are you crazy? I mean, it just seems like we have ourselves a beautiful winner right here, of course. And if you look at the scoreboard, that's what it matters. Alet couldn't do what kept the side of, Legendaris a little bit awake there, right, in the finally rich side. He was the one needed to step up. I think he had 35 frags in the end. That's a whole difference from the 13 right now. But that just shows that if he doesn't step up, the team is not able to perform on that high of a level, right? When you need such a players to step up, the team, as a Team Vindicus, has more players. You have a Reamstar, which also popping off, but you have 3 players helping him out. Westwound on 21, still the second fragger of the game. This guy having some great moments with 19 kills himself. Vivara playing solid, and then 5-1-3 with a lot of 5-1-4, 5-1-9 with a lot of assists. Been playing as a supportive player. And he wasn't even needed, right? You had 4 players stepping up, 1 guy not necessarily, but it still was good enough.
Yeah, I think with Team Vindicus, everyone played their role well. Like, you see the duelists at the top getting those entry frags, like we saw a couple minutes ago. Areem just smoking, dashing onto site, Breach flashing for him as soon as he lands. Like, they was very coordinated. Like, you can tell that this team they've been working together for a while. They have their strats down, they've been practicing, and I think if anything, this last match like is a statement. Giving up only 1 round out of 13 rounds in a row. As soon as they started winning, they only lost 1 round.
Yep,
Like,
and that was the pistol as well.
And that was the pistol round. I think if any org is watching them, like, this is a very well built team. Like, they know their team comps, they know how to com with each other, they know how to play off of each other, and they put on a really good performance here. And I'd say that they absolutely deserve to win the title.
Yep, they take it. They take home the £25, but that leaves us to be done, of course, with the tournament. We hope to be back, of course, next week. Next week there will be a 2v2 tournament happening, of course, which is a type of wingman concept, meaning that you're only allowed to play on the mid part of the map and on one side, basically. So you're trying to protect it with 2, you're trying to attack it with 2. A very nice concept. The only tournament that is actually in that type of way inside of Valorant, so definitely worth to check that out, of course. Make sure you follow all the socials down below. Thank you, Ace, of course, for joining me now in the caster booth, and of course, for everybody out there, also big thanks to Superface, of course, for not only being the observer this time, but also for hosting all the tournaments. If you want more of these tournaments, of course, and if you want to say something about these tournaments or just give your love, make sure you give your love to Superface, of course, because he's the one organizing everything. He's the one making sure every single week there's a tournament for you guys and a stream also lined up. So make sure to give him some nice thanks as well inside of the Discord server. Make sure you join it, give some love, and obviously after that, also be sure to stick around with all the tournaments that are still coming, because we're growing every single time. And Superface gave himself his thank you as well inside of the nose, but that will be the end of today, of course. Hope you guys all enjoyed. 13-7, 13-7 it was. Oh, Superface is gonna end it?
One thing. Gold
Okay.
Skirmish came. It's a new 5v5 tournament coming soon, starting on March 26th. And it's gonna be a £200 prize pool. So be on the lookout for that. You're able to sign up now on Challenger mode until March 26th. So if you're interested, have a look. blueskirmish.com. But yeah, other than that, appreciate all of you for coming along. My amazing 2 casters tonight, Dutch Boy Cast and Ace.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thanks for all the support as well in the chat. Yeah, just can't say it enough.
Had a blast. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun event, and with that little bit of a note, be sure to sign up, of course, for those gold events, right? They're coming with big prize pool. You have yourself a little bit of an entry fee, but you're able to win so much in terms of the money side, and it will be way more coming, of course. Blue Skirmish has just started, and we are gonna see it all progress here on the Twitch channel and also on all the other platforms that are there to follow. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's stream. My name is Jesse, or Dutch Boy Cast, and this was Blue Skirmish. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and see you guys all some other time. Goodbye for one, and hope you guys are all starting a fantastic day.
Good night.
Good night.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the the horizon, turn us to thousands.